Right, legends. I click the Streameroonie Ente button. We have a lot of stuff to go through today, legends, especially with the cryptocurrency market. If you're a replay viewer watching right now, watch the first 15 minutes. We've got a lot of stuff to go through, guys. We've got Pete Dirty Work in the building. Pete No Stop. How you doing, brother? All good?
Yeah, feeling good, especially after what's been happening.
Feeling great.
Well, not feeling so good.
Yeah. Well, you feel good every day, don't you, brother? You're a good guy. But we're going to jump into some real nice stuff. Some news, some events. But guys, we're going to start with crypto. Obviously, these videos, so this video specifically you're watching right now, we're going to do this every Monday. Me and Pete are going to sit down. We're going to get other guests on as well, because we're going to get them in the Google Meet, all that kind of shit. But we're going to get more people in, right? But at the moment, we're just going to talk about general topics. But today, specifically, we're going to go through the Bitcoin shit, because Bitcoin obviously nuked massively on Friday, just before the weekend. And this caught a lot of people off guard, guys. Just to be completely honest with you guys, I actually did sell $250,000 worth of BNB last week, and that was because I thought this was overbought, and I said probably go back to $700. That's what we did. Anyway, let me go into this frickin' shindigs, because some of the outliers, guys, Polygon absolutely wrecked. By the way, for some reason, my trading view has been really slow. I think it's the VPN I've got on, because I have to go on a VPN because I'm in Dubai. Great. So, guys, Polygon is an outlier there. Very, very bad. Broke all of its lows. Sui definitely is going to have issues now, guys. And so this is an altcoin purge. Okay, I'm going to get I won't talk about each individual altcoin on this video. For some reason, it's just so slow. But guys, this is the worst altcoin purge probably ever actually in crypto's history. I'm going to go through what I think the reason it happened for, why it happened, what's going to happen in the future, and how you need to go forward, okay? Because this is literally going down. For Sui, for instance, it went down 85% in 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes, 85% drop. So this is like one of in terms of volume and the amount of open interest and how far it went down in comparison to the size of the market. This is the worst altcoin purge there has ever been in crypto. And we know, like freaking Pete's been showing me online, there's so many stories, people getting wrecked, liquidations, the whole 9 yards. It's absolutely wrecked. We'll just look at total 2, because that's the global altcoin market. It has come back a little bit, but this was the quickest. This happened in 3 minutes on altcoins, guys. 3 minutes, and it got wiped out. Everyone got licked. All the longs are gone. Absolute carnage. And guys, I've been saying this obviously for a long, long time, and I just want to make this point again in this specific moment, because it's pretty fucking mental. Mark Douglas, the quote I always said, anything can happen at any time in any market. Anything can happen at any time in any market. Guys, you can you can build an account for 10 years and you can lose it in fucking 3 minutes in this scenario. Usually other markets, slower, traditional, regulated markets, it's pretty much impossible for it to move in 3 minutes that far, 85% for some specific altcoins, because there's more liquidity, there's more volume, there's more in the book, so it can't move through it all. There's more buy pressure, it's less manipulated. We'll go into that in a second. You're laughing in there, Petey. How you doing over there, bro? All good?
No, I think my chair was squeaking, brother. That's what you heard.
my square was right. Okay, let's just stop with the squeaking. All right, in the backers. So what I'm saying is the market moved, guys, at an insanely fast rate. It was one of the fastest moves I've ever seen. Now we'll go into, is there manipulation behind this? Are there people who have insider trading knowledge? Was this some sort of push down to liquidate for all those people who lost millions of dollars and everyone who got liquidated on cross margin? All that money has been transferred to somebody else now, because this is a market, it's an exchange. There's a buyer and there's a seller, and the other way around. So in this, for instance, everyone sold and someone else bought. Who is that person? Who is that entity? We'll talk about that in a minute. But the main point, guys, here is this. This is how you have to trade, guys. And I've said this for every single year for essentially decades. I've been saying this. You have to be extremely paranoid when using any type of leverage in this game, because even if there's a chance that you can get liquidated, it can happen. And I've been saying this for years. You can build an account for 10 years and lose it in 3 minutes if you're over levered. And in this specific scenario, guys, even if you're on 1, 2, or 3x, you got hit if you're using cross margin. Now, I've always been against cross margin from the beginning. Ever since I used it at the beginning of my trading career, I have never ever promoted or said use cross margin. It is ridiculous. You're putting all of your capital at risk and you can lose everything. It might be 0.1% chance, but even if there's a chance, you can't have it. You can't have even a chance. I'm the kind of guy, guys, when I get on a fucking aeroplane, I think in my head, it could happen. This could be the plane. 1 in a 2 million chance that an airplane is going to go down if you're on it. I still think in my head, it could be this plane. This is how paranoid, and I literally sweat because of it. I don't really like flying. This is how paranoid you have to be when you're trading in general, and even more paranoid when you're trading crypto. Because everything I said to everyone, I've had a million phone calls today, people ringing me up, family, friends, old people in the community, people I don't know in the community messaging me saying, oh my God, I can't believe this, I can't believe that. What happened? Why did it happen? I lost everything. And then people even saying to me, I can't believe I didn't listen to you 4 years ago when I remember watching a video when you said only use isolated trading and not cross margin. And it's because, guys, I couldn't sleep at night even if there's a chance. The reason I'm completely unscathed and got $250,000 in cash right now and my bot sold here is because I'm automating, I'm using appropriate risk management, and I'm not using any crazy cross margin. I've said it from the fucking beginning. It's hard to watch, guys, the people who've lost their money on cross margin. But the issue is that, yes, your liquidation might be low, but there is still a chance. You can't go to bed at night thinking there's a chance. It can't be even a chance that it can happen. Otherwise, for me, I can't sleep at night. That's why I still have loads of fucking money. And that's why if you got liquidated on cross margin, you shouldn't have been able to sleep at night because now you have no fucking money. And the numbers do not lie, guys. We're looking at $700 billion worth of liquidations in 3 minutes. This is even more, it has to solidify in your minds, guys, if you're trading this market, especially crypto, in any market, in any single time frame, market, indice, equity, commodity, cryptocurrency, whatever it is, in any fucking realm of all these fucking things, you have to now start saying to yourself, if you've lost money on this, you have to think about automation, you have to think about risk management, and you have to think about stop loss management, and you can't use cross margin because the amount of people messaging me about it is just, it's insane. You know, I'm going to show you some indicators, guys, that could have really helped you not get liquidated on this. And I'm obviously going to talk about my company. I'm obviously going to talk about the things that I do. And I'm going to talk about MDX Algo, etc., etc., etc. But, guys, let me just make a point. This move, guys, from here to here, it's insanely fast. Okay, this is on an hourly time frame. So the first few hours was fine. But this last one happened in less than 5 minutes, legends. This is a Bitcoin chart. And then if you look at Sui, for instance, look at this. I want to talk to you about some of these altcoins, guys, and how actually I don't think these are going to survive in the long run. But I do think a lot of these altcoins are going to do this now, okay? I do think a lot of these altcoins are now going to have a massive upside move. But in the medium to long term, guys, I don't think altcoins like Sui. I'm only using Sui as an example because it's one of the worst charts. And it's got... Okay, here's the point. Just make it real simple. For these projects and these companies and these tokens to survive for the long term, they need to mature and become more institutionalized, okay? They need to have institutional investors, hedge funds. They need to go down as treasury. They need an ETF at some point as well, like Solana got its ETF. Anyone who's banging on the door of a Sui ETF now is fucking never going to fucking happen. It's never going to get past the regulators looking at this chart. And also, it's never going to get past any board of any hedge fund, of any pension fund, of any endowment, of any fucking money management firm, of any family office, of anyone. It's not going to get past the test even to me. And I'm not even a fucking institutional grade trader. This doesn't pass the test, guys. You can't... There's no institution in the future who's going to go, okay, where are we going to bet our money in the crypto market and for an individual altcoin and put it in a basket of assets for potentially backing a pension fund, for instance. They do that with gold, silver, and even Bitcoin. There's no way anyone's touching this with a fucking barge pole. It went down 85% in 3 minutes. What kind of risk management meeting are you gonna do? Oh, look, it might even be 5 years in the future. This might be like, look, a little blip on the radar previously. No one is gonna look at it and be like, oh yeah, Sui's a great time to buy for our endowment and long-term pension fund. When they look back at the chart and it says it went down 85% in 3 minutes. It's done. There's no institutional, this chart is never, ever, ever going to be, it's never going to disappear. It's always going to be there. Sui is never going to get into institutional demand. And that means in the long run, it's probably going to fail. Because guess what? It's now very likely going to do something like this. We're going to have a huge blow off top. Because guess what? All of the long liquidity is gone. So there are no longs left. If you're done. You're out. So there's no reason for it to go down. The market makers won't push it down. There's no liquidity down. There's no money to be made. There's no fees to be paid. So there's no reason for it to go any lower. It's probably going to end up doing something like that, making some sort of higher low, and then it's going to go to the moon. But that moon shot, guys, is going to be it. for things like SUI. I'm just using this as an example. There are a million other charts out there. Look at Link. It's exactly the same fucking thing. I would even say Link's in the same. Look at that. Buy, made a new low. Adder. What did Adder do? By the way, my internet's weird because I'm on a VPN, so it takes a little bit of a second to load. But what I'm trying to say, my point is this. I reckon all these markets are going to go up actually first. And then when the next bear market for Bitcoin starts, these tokens are going to die. Because there's going to be a new company, there's going to be a new fucking idea, there's going to be a new thing, and Sui with Raoul Paul and the fucking chatting his shit, saying I'm irresponsibly long on it, and 3x is fine. He's probably going to get a lawsuit, but what I'm trying to say is that when the next bear market comes and everything gets flushed out, what's going to happen is there's going to be a new idea, a new project, a new spark, a new leader of something else who's going to catch the animal instincts of some other thing. It's going to be like, instead of Sui, the project that's going to be based on, you know, quantum this and quantum that, we're going to build decentralized applications. There's going to be some new thing, which is going to be called like AI whoppity wap wanger bot. And it's just going to be a new idea, a new concept, a new technology. Probably will use like AI in it. It'll probably be like some AI-backed blockchain hash graph fucking shit. Like, remember hash graph? That was its own little thing. Now it went to zero. So there's going to be a new concept which will come out in the next bear market. And I don't think things like Link and specifically Sui, I don't think is going to make it. Near Protocol, maybe. But let's just leave it on Sui. Because Sui is like the worst case scenario. It's a second layer solution for decentralized applications. It's got never going to have institutional demand anymore because it went down 85% in 3 minutes. No one's going to take the risk with that. Anyone with any level of fucking understanding will say, I'm not going to take the risk with that. And then there'll be next cycle, there's going to be a new thing. It's going to be an AI, blockchain-based, elliptic curve, cryptography, fucking coin chain bollocks. And then that's going to be the new thing. And then Sui's going to go to zero, like EOS. And then there's going to be a new trend. So I don't think Sui's going to stand the test of time. And it's not just Sui to make this point. There are other coins out there. There will be some which will survive. There will be some that will survive next cycle because they've been around for multiple cycles. But Sui's a new coin, so even less of a chance of surviving. And I don't know Raoul Paul or whatever he was saying because I know that's a lot of guys who watch him. Apparently he was like, he said he was, you know, irresponsibly long on Sui. You're fine if you're on 3x. And I don't know, like, guys, there are a lot of people who look at these institutional grade traders from traditional markets and they look at them and think, oh, they must know something because they've been trading for a long time. All of them are fucking idiots when it comes to crypto. I'm getting, someone's asking to join the group. I'll do it in a minute. I think it's Viking. Is it Viking, Pete? Is he asking to join? Pete, are you there, bro?
Yeah, sorry. I'm
yeah.
Because I keep squeaking, brother. But yeah, Viking,
No, Crypto Viking's in the chat, so I'll let him in a minute. We're going to let Viking in a second. Let me just finish this fucking point. So, where was I? What was I talking about? I can't even hear you. What was I talking about? Guys, help me out. Jog my memory.
Really long, brother.
I was talking about... Oh, yeah, Raoul Paul. Okay, Raoul Paul and all these guys who came from traditional trading. There's a guy called Lex Van Dan, and Raoul Paul was actually on his show once, which he was doing a trading show in the United Kingdom. This guy ain't got a fucking clue. He might know macro, but he doesn't understand this. He got everybody wrecked on Luna, and now he's got everybody wrecked on Sui. Both of the things. Anyone who comes out and says be irresponsibly long on a fucking altcoin with his knowledge is an idiot. Anyone who says 1 to 3x is fine, we're going to go to the moon, it can't, and all this bullshit fucking reasons. I've said from the very beginning, guys, if you use cross margin, you're essentially betting everything on that this thing is going to stay solvent. I said it again. I'll say it one more time in the live chat because more people are here right now. Even if there's a chance, guys, 0.001%, even if there's a chance, how the fuck can you sleep at night? You cannot use cross margin, you can't use high leverage. I've come to the conclusion after this, and I've been thinking about this for many years, and I've always told everyone is obviously the only way to make money is by hedging against your portfolio with leverage. You don't need leverage when things go up because they can go up thousands of percent. The reason you would use leverage to short the market is because it can only go down 100%. Calculus is mathematics. The market can only ever go down 100%, so maybe leverage that to hedge against your portfolio. So say this. Say you have 10 Bitcoin, right? And it's going up. You have 10 Bitcoin in spot. The only way to use leverage in a correct manner is by, let's just say you don't want to sell all your Bitcoin. It's going up in price, but you don't want to sell all of it. You don't want to sell all of it spot. So what you do is you take 1 Bitcoin out of the 10. So you have 9 Bitcoin in spot. You put that 1 Bitcoin in exchange, and then you hedge against the 10 Bitcoin by betting 1 Bitcoin at 10x leverage against the market. You short hedge. Then if it continues up and that short hedge is not correct, you have a stop loss at 1 to 2%. You lose 1 to 2% of the 1 Bitcoin you have in the trading account. Then the market continues and you've still got fucking 9 Bitcoin sitting there in a long position because you are owning the assets. So you're long. So this is the only way to do it. I've said this for many years. No one fucking listens, and this is going to show everyone who's in my fucking groups, all my friends, family, and everyone who's messaged me, and everyone who's spoken to me, and everyone who's gone through this, and even the people I'm giving advice, okay? I've said this from the beginning, so I'm not trying to be horrible to you right now. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of tough love, because I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I don't just tell you this watching this fucking video right now, whoever sees this, that you can't make money longing with leverage. It's not possible. It's only possible in very, very high liquidity, large markets like the bond market, for instance, that only move a tenth of a fucking point or a basis point every single day. They move 0.1% a day, but you have trillions of dollars of liquidity, so you can use leverage, but you know that it's never going to go down 85% because there's trillions of dollars of buyers, which you can't get through. There's not even enough money in the fucking market to push through them. So you can only trade leverage on extremely high volume orientated open interest markets, which have lots of liquidity, so they can't just go down to zero in no time at all, 3 minutes in this case. So look, this also solidifies this one fact, guys, that anyone who thought medium cap altcoins and higher cap altcoins were rigid and strong and solid, this has, even for me, solidified the fact that in comparison to traditional, in comparison to the indices of the world, the Russell 5000 and all these big stock markets we look at, the fucking New York, London, Japan, all the way through the whole thing, the comparison to this, the altcoin market is the biggest, shitty, the dirtiest, smelliest shitcoin market with the lowest bollocks you can ever fucking dream of. If you thought these altcoins, even in the mid to high caps, were any good, everything's just been proven that they're not. Because there's nothing there, guys. There's nothing there. As soon as the MMs pull, there's no liquidity in the books. There's a little bit of sell pressure. It goes to zero. And it's going to be very, very difficult for all these coins to come back and be able to entice institutional grade investment, which will be things like companies, hedge funds, endowments, family offices, all the way through to even now applying for an ETF. You think the SUI guy is going to get a fucking ETF? There's no chance. Solana's lucky that it managed to get its ETF, and actually it probably boded for it well, considering that the price didn't fall that far. All of this is dead. Altcoin market is ridiculous. You got to be looking at Bitcoin, and if you are going to trade altcoins, you have to look at automation, because even if you're the best manual trader on this planet, and we've already seen that there's pretty much no one who's good at trading in crypto because they're all using cross margin. So that means that they're all fucking idiots and they think they're God and nothing can ever happen. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I get nervous getting on a plane when there's a 1 in 2 million chance of it going down. That level of paranoia is what you have to do when you trade. And like, is an Emirates plane going to go down? So I'm talking about a percentage on a fucking percentage. Like 1 in 2 million chance for a plane to go down. And I'm flying fucking Emirates and I'm still nervous. Guys, that's the level of paranoia you need with crypto. Like, what we talk, it needs to be more paranoia than that. You might as well never get on the fucking plane. You might as well just sit at home and just not fucking get on the plane. Because like, the whole thing here, guys, is that even if there's a chance, you don't use cross margin. I've told people this a million times, never fucking listen. Now everyone's lost everything. You're essentially putting your full account at risk if you're wrong. And we know that we're wrong in this game. You have to be wrong. It's fucking ridiculous. And a lot of you guys are trading on 1 to 3x on cross. I don't know what. There's no more of a sign, and I don't want to bang on this drum too much because I've said it a million times, and I'm not. I made this mistake myself, but I made this mistake. The problem is that I made this mistake at the beginning of my career, and lost maybe $10,000, and maybe lost $5,000. The problem is that if you lost $1 million, or you lost $500,000, or you lost your whole life savings, or you lost 18 million or 500 million, you ain't coming back, guys. They're not coming back. There's been a purge. The people who lost $18 million, they're not coming back. And in some very, very unfortunate cases, they're really not coming back because they fucking top themselves. And that's obviously fucked. And if there is an orchestrated, this was an orchestrated event by insider knowledge and insider trading, because you got to remember, guys, when you see a wick like this, Everyone who was forced to sell, who was on cross, that money hasn't disappeared. Everyone, when you look at the news, everyone's like, $600 billion wiped out. No. There was no money wiped out, legends. Nothing was wiped out. It just moved to someone else's wallet. The money's still there. And also, we're talking about cryptocurrency moving, so that's just the denomination in US dollars of cryptocurrency. So the cryptocurrency itself, the actual SUI tokens, they ain't fucking vanish. They're just in some motherfucker else's wallet. And it's going to be very likely, I would say, a transition between retail morons using cross leverage who thought they were geniuses because they made all their money in the last 10 years in crypto, and they've moved it into some other hands, which will probably be an institution. And that's that. You got played, bro. You got fucking played. I've been saying you can build an account for 10 years, you can lose it in 3 minutes. I just saw that from my trading career on a micro version when I was trading in Australia, the fucking Aussie dollar to the Great British Pound, and then get dibbling and dabbling in some altcoins. I just saw that in a micro sense, that you can build an account and then lose it all. But it would guess what? It's $4,000, $10,000. Okay, it's not great, but it doesn't make or break the career. The problem is these fucking dudes. And I'm only getting like kind of like it's tough love, because the problem is like I've said it myself a billion times. I've said it a billion times. And it's almost frustrating because you do get the messages and I had a long essay from one guy just like, bro, I don't know what I'm going to do. Can you help me out? Can you send me money? I don't know how I'm going to survive. I remember a few years ago you said this and I never thought it was going to happen. And it was mentioning Raoul Paul and I was like, oh, shit. But it's just like, guys, like I said, you could build an account for 10 years and lose it, in this case, in 3 fucking minutes. And anything can happen at any time in any market. That's the first rule in Mark Douglas's book. And that's the book everyone should read, watch, or listen. It's not like it's hard to get access to this shit. It's literally like you can watch the fucking videos he talks about. You can talk with the turtles. You can listen to the ebook. You can read it. You can get ChatGPT to give you a summary. The reason is that I think that, okay, here's the main reason that people don't listen to other people in trading is because any other difficult industry that you do, there's a huge barrier to entry of even participating. So if you want to be a doctor or you want to be an architect or you want to be a pilot, there's a barrier to entry where if you don't do something and get an accredited certification to do that thing, you're not allowed to do it. So you go, okay, that must be difficult because I'm not allowed to do it. The problem is about trading is it's just as hard as being a doctor, it's just as hard as being a surgeon, it's just as hard as being a pilot, but there's no barrier for scrubs or idiots to look at it objectively and think, oh, well, there's no barrier to entry, so then it just can't be difficult. And that's the scary shit, guys. This is way more fucking dangerous than a casino. And it can even be more dangerous than even potentially even being a pilot. Like, because you could essentially run your whole portfolio to zero and then you can't even feed your fucking family. And then you're putting all other people, I suppose being a pilot is probably worse. But I'm saying, like, you might fucking, obviously crashing a plane is worse. But if you're a fucking private plane owner and you go and fly your plane, you know what you do, then you just die yourself. But if you have if you have responsibilities in a family and you do this, you lose all your fucking money. So it's just like, guys, here's the fucking rule. You never use leverage to long the market. You don't need to. It can go up thousands of % on its own. You don't need more, you greedy fucks. Like, it can go up 1,000%. The market can only go down 100%. So yes, let's talk about leverage for hedging short against your portfolio, which it was designed for in the beginning anyway. If you look at how a manual short works, it's about a borrowing and a lending, getting debt, and then buying back the asset when it falls with the debt and then keeping the difference. That's what a short is. That's what it was designed to do. Short selling is just that. But doing that with leverage is clever if you use risk management at the top with a 1% stop loss. So, you know, fucking, we've done it a million times. The market's rallying. You don't short here because you don't know it's going to drop. You let it fall. Then you short here when it makes a lower high. So you have a higher probability. You do the same fucking thing on the way down. That's why you're waiting for a double bottom. We're looking to trade here, guys. And then you have a 1% stop loss above the high. So if it does continue, you lose 1 or 2%, and then you've still got your 9 Bitcoin, which is long. So then it covers your losses. So you're essentially playing chess against the market. You're putting the odds in your favor to win. But dude, the amount of fucking guys who've been wrecked We've just lost everything. It's just like, bruv, I can't believe it even happened in 3 minutes. I can't believe it happened in 3 minutes because it was like what I was saying for many years on steroids. And guys, I shouldn't even take credit for it. It's not. I learned the mistake when I was in my early days of trading, but I learned from other people's mistakes before that by reading their shit. And Mark Douglas is probably one of the best in terms of understanding what it means to be a risk trader. Or even the turtles, for instance. They're called the turtles for a reason, guys. The fucking tortoise wins the race. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. But unfortunately, yeah, Max don't pay tax. That's another way to keep fucking yourself rich, is by not paying tax. But yeah, the whole thing's an absolute clusterfuck, guys. I hope that anyone who sees this will be able to understand that cross margin is essentially evil in a way. It's you know, just don't use leverage. And also, guys, remember this. If you're going to trade with leverage, don't stare at the screen every day. Because the market and the combination between leverage and the market, it's like being an alcoholic, okay? So if you're an alcoholic, all right? But you give yourself no ability to ever drink because you're not around alcohol. So you're not even physically able to get alcohol. That means you never drink. Surely, if you so you say you put yourself in the jungle. You're an alcoholic, but you put yourself in the jungle. You can't drink because there's no alcohol. If you have any tendency to use leverage, and then you sit on a leverage exchange and watch the price go up and down all the time, you're essentially an alcoholic standing next to a bar. Like, you're eventually going to have a fucking drink. You're not going to be able to stop yourself. So I'm saying, don't even go near the fucking things. Literally, if you're ever going to trade leverage for a short sell, put the position on, wait for it to happen, leave, and log out. Set all of your parameters before you even set the parameters that it means you never have to go to the trade again. And if you come back to the desk when the price is actually resolved, has either gone higher or lower, then you can just see where the profit is because it would have exited the trade for you. Don't go anywhere near that shit. It's like fucking, if you take a kid who's addicted to candy and walk them into a sweet shop, they're going to fucking eat a sweet. But if you give the kid no ability to ever look at or even touch sweets, they're not going to eat any sweets because they haven't got the ability to go there. So I'm just saying, guys, like, you got to regulate yourself. You got to regulate the market. You got to have stop losses. You got to have risk management. Like, guys, you have to get automation. Like, my bot bought here, made 11% and sold here. My bot didn't know this was going to happen. My bot did not know this move was going to happen, but it already sold. It was already out before you got in. It was already out before this happened, sorry. And then you need to have 25% DCA, 25% swing, 25% scalp, and then 25% you invest in things that you think can 100x and leave them till the end. That's it. And like, guys, one indicator as well. I'm going to show you this right now because I'm going to now talk about my company. But you already know, guys, that I fucking built. We're about to launch a brand new bot project, a brand new bot dashboard where you get all of the backtester results from thousands of different settings on AlgoMaster. You can click one button and it turns those settings into your indicator on TradingView, and then you can connect it to an exchange and it will trade for you. So we've got it's going to be done at the end of this month because what we've realized is that the company needs to be all about bots because even if you were the best trader in the world, you wouldn't have been able to call this move. It happened so quickly. Even if you were the best trader in the world, you had 3 minutes on altcoins. You had a little bit more time on Bitcoin, but you had 3 fucking minutes. There's no chance. Absolutely no chance. Because you could be asleep. You could be flying on a plane. You could be banging your missus. You could be doing anything. You could be walking the fucking dog. Like, it's not possible to make money with Bitcoin without some automation and also using very low leverage. So this indicator, guys, it shows you the long to short ratio on Binance, and it's the retail traders. As soon as everybody went long, guys, the price just absolutely nuked. Literally, as soon as everyone went long, it went down because we know that when people go long, that's the fuel for the price to fall because obviously if you get stopped out in a long, that is a forced sell. Your margin called. So people will think, oh, everyone's going long, so I must go up. No, it goes the other way, actually. Guys, we know this. The market makes the fools out the most. That's another quote. That's actually one of mine. That's not Mark Douglas. Mark Douglas is the market makes Mark Douglas was anything can happen at any time in any market, and that's what everyone just had happen to them, unfortunately. But yeah, MDX Algo, guys, we've got a new bot project. We've got the new bots, and this indicator, guys, is live right now. So you can come here. It's literally live. You can see this whole thing right now. It printed this on the hourly timeframes. It's in mdxalgo.com. You can go and get this. It's essentially You got to buy my fucking company. It costs like $45,000 a month to run the business. Everyone's like, but why don't you give it away for free? Because I'm not spending 45 grand a month to give something for you to free. All right. You need to give me money so I can continue to build the products and services so you can enjoy them. Otherwise, 45 grand a month is 450 more a year. I'll be in the dirt, legends. And then you won't have a fucking company anyway. So I'm saying this is the product. Just book a call with us and we'll explain. We had a great guy I spoke to today, actually. He's in Malta. I won't mention his name, obviously, for privacy reasons. He's in Malta. He's just got into it. He's made a bit of money in crypto, but now he wants to take it to the next step. I was on the call with him. I did on my tweet. Been on quite a few. So I said on this tweet here, legends, that the next 10 people, book a call. We've actually got about 50 this week already. So it's going to be a bit hectic. But if you go and book a call, guys, to speak about what you want. You might want bots, you might want Discord, you might want this, you might want that. I'm just saying, ring me up. I'm a trader through and through, but now I'm a CEO of a company, so I've kind of changed my tune a little bit. I have a lot of bot automation. I'm doing quite a lot of other bits and bobs in terms of the back end, and then I'm trying to sort out. I do manual trading, obviously, as well, because I'm addicted to trading like we all are. But I'm saying, get on a call with us. My team will make you profitable, and if you're not profitable in 45 days, we continue to work with you, by the way. So If you jump on a call with us, you get the product, we work with you for 45 days. If you ring us up and say, yo, bro, I'm not making any fucking money, we will continue to work with you, mentor you until you become profitable with our product. Because guess what? Then you buy the product and you use it in your strategy. We make money, you make money. It's a jerk fucking circle, legends. Anyway, it's been crazy the amount of calls because I feel like a lot of people have lost money. And I think actually when people lose money, they reach out more than when they make money. I think we get a bit cocky when we make money and we don't look for help. But when we lose money, we do look for help. But yeah, guys, the bot's now back in. You need to book a call with us. It's in the description. You can chat to me and my team. And our new bot thing, I want to show you the screenshots of Figment, which we've built, but I don't want to do it right now. We've got like all the backtested results, how much money they're making. My team, there's a guy called Zeus and Adrian. They use the Pax G bot. That's making bank. Anyway, I think the crypto side is kind of done, but let me answer some questions. Are there any questions in the Pete? What? Let's get Viking in as well.
He's saying, brother.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Viking in.
He's gone. I took too long. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He'll be fine. We'll get him in the next one. He said he's got a call anyway.
He might try to rejoin in a minute. We've got a couple of people in the comments asking, can we have a look at a few more altcoin charts and talk about whether the top is in for Bitcoin?
The top's not in, no. The top is not in for Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is now going to do this. And I actually showed someone a good guy who had a call with it. The thing is, my internet's so slow. Basically, there's a very, very simple fractal, guys, from prior price action, where we have a big sweep of everything. You got to remember, guys, on Bitcoin, everyone's gone. There's no longs left in the books, okay? If we do sweep the whole lot and go lower, then we're going to start taking out longs again. But the liquidity is up now. It's shorts. So I think we're doing something like this probably. Okay. And then we're going to maybe go sideways, but I think we're going to continue up. Bitcoin's going to continue the bull market. Things like SUI. And the only reason I'm picking on SUI, guys, I've gone on a weekly chart, is because SUI is just one of those charts. And I have a good friend actually who has a lot of SUI. And I'm not beating on SUI because I think that it's a bad coin. I know a lot of guys who own it. I even have a friend of mine in Dubai who owns it. And I just want to make the point on SUI because it's one of those charts which is just ridiculous. I do think there's no reason for it to go down. It will go down eventually, probably to zero, guys, eventually, in the long run. But right now, it's quite likely going to continue, okay? And I think Bitcoin's going to continue, SUI's going to continue. And I'm putting my neck out here because a lot of guys are like, no, it's all over, we're going to zero, da-da-da. I would say on the balance of probabilities, I think we're going to get some sort of actually move up quite significantly. We're going to try and take out the shorts. There's going to be fuel to go up, and there's going to be a last hurrah of euphoric altcoin bollocks, and everyone's going to go, shit, I'm going to count my chickens and get out. Because like I said at the beginning of the stream, this is not institutional worthy anymore, at least for the next 5 years, and potentially longer. Not saying it can't do it again, okay? There is hope, potentially. If you look at Amazon went down 98%. Apple went down 98% twice with the dot-com crash. But we're looking at two companies, Amazon and Apple. They're the only ones which fucking survived. Nvidia as well. But like, yeah, out of 5,000, 10,000 stocks and shares that went to nothing, it's just, this is not institutional worthy for at least 5 years, because you're not going to get any big players with big money saying, I'm going to hold this as an asset for the long run to back something else, for instance, a pension fund. They're not looking at this. They're not going to be like, it went down 85% in 3 minutes. There's no risk analysis that makes sense. So even to an average person like us, who are just retail traders. So this ain't going to do very well in the long run. And I think in the next cycle, when the next bear market happens, and then when Bitcoin actually really does begin to tank, I think Sui and all these coins, I think even Link, I think Polygon, Polygon, Adder potentially, I think a lot of them are going to end up failing, guys, like big time failing, because this kind of chart, actually Adder and a few others have been around. So if it's been around for multiple cycles, it has a high probability. Sui hasn't. I think Link might have a chance in Adder because they've been around for multiple cycles. They've weathered quite a lot. BNB will be fine, obviously, guys. Polygon, I don't think Polygon's going to survive, to be honest, in the long run. But I do think it's going to have a move up soon. Near Protocol, maybe. This is its first cycle, so we'll see. Crypto.com is one which is fucking not great as well for institutional grade investment. I'm not happy with my investment in it either. Like a lot of us are just like, for fuck's sake. But the good thing about Crypto.com is the brand, the retail-based business, the massive cash reserves, the huge crypto reserves. And it has got very jiggity-jaggedy bollocks price action anyway. So I think Crypto.com will probably survive. But BNB, guys, like this is... okay, in my VIP group, which you get with MDX Algo, I came out a week ago and I said I'm selling all of my BNB. And this was just, how do I put this? Okay, this wasn't really to do with me trying to be any more clever than anyone else in the market, because this is now built into me as an instinct. Okay, so as a trader for many years, you begin to have sort of instincts, right, where you can make decisions on the basis of things you see without actually really making an informed decision. You have to really think about it. Sounds crazy, but it happens. It's very, I said a week ago, guys, that it's very likely BNB will come back to $700. That's literally what it did on that wick. BNB right now is very likely topped, guys, okay? If you don't have to be a rocket scientist. I've sold all my BNB. I got like $250,000 in BNB in terms of cash now. This is likely going to come back down, guys, especially when Bitcoin goes into the bear market, but it doesn't matter if it continues. BNB is likely going to come back. So if you own BNB, this is not financial advice, but I would sell it because I did myself. I sold all my BNB. When it was trading up here. I should get the actual number, to be honest. I did a post in my Discord. Let me actually find the Discord message so you guys can actually verify this. I was in Pro Signals. I'll get the exact date for you. This is our Pro Signals chat, guys, in Discord. This is the Asta trade we had, which did well. We've got Lord Dumpu in there, some macro, some my gold analysis. I think gold's going to come back soon, guys, as well. We may be at the end of the gold move. I've probably scrolled past it because it was a small post. Let me find it for you, legends. Oh, yeah. I'm glad I sold my BNB last week. That's not the actual post. I just sold all my BNB to cash. We'll wait for another entry later. Very hot. Good profit from it. That was on the 4th of the 10th. So it was a week before this even happened. But this is my Pro Signals chat, guys, so you can go get that as well. In MDX Algo. Whoa, that was weird. So BNB, I think, is topped, guys. I think it could go higher, but I think it's topped in general. In the next month, it's going to come back. And then any other altcoins, if you're in the chat, just fire your altcoin in the chat. But I think ultimately, guys, XRP as well, it's pretty much game over. It will probably continue up now, but I think ultimately it's going to end up failing, as well as a lot of the other altcoins.
Solana, brother. We've got a few people in chat asking Solana.
Solana, I haven't been looking at Solana because I don't think the Solana chart's that bad. Actually, Solana has an ETF, has institutional grade investment already. I'll be more worried if I was sitting in Sui than Solana. I'm just waiting for it to load because of my VPN. It's not too bad, guys. It's very similar to Bitcoin, very similar to Ethereum as well. Like Ethereum came out of this pretty unscathed. Solana came out of this pretty unscathed. It's just because my VPN's on. Just wait for it to load. But Ethereum is going to be fine. I do think so. It's coming back though. Like I said from the beginning, guys, remember when I said we were down here, I was like, we're going to do something like this. It did go a little bit higher than I expected, but I made a disclaimer about that, so they could pop the high. I think we're going to do something like this. I think we're still going to get that 786, 618. I reckon Ethereum's coming back, and then we'll get a higher low, and then it will do its continuation depending on what Bitcoin does. But Sol, It's fine, guys. You know, there's nothing on this chart really that bad. We've kind of managed to respect the prior highs. You still have higher lows, evidently, on the chart. It has a bit more institutional grade investment. This will just now follow Bitcoin. So I wouldn't say bother worrying about it. I would say look at Bitcoin and what is Bitcoin going to do. And I would bet that Bitcoin is going to rise before it falls. Because if you go on a higher time frame, guys, obviously if you go macro, we want to go macro smacko, like there's nothing on this chart which is telling me that there's a top. There's a big wick down. We may have made a lower low, but we've now reclaimed it. We're above the 200-day moving average significantly. We haven't even got it. We're not even in the bands at the moment. The 2 moving averages for the PI top cycle indicator haven't crossed. Volume is looking interesting, though. Every single time we've had a big spike in red volume, that has led to a nuke. ETFs are in the middle, so macro smacko is fine. In terms of the daily, this should be daily time frame. This is the weekly, actually. But again, the weekly has all these yellow lines on it, which are very, very important levels. But I'll do daily because it's a bit more... Actually, wait, it's not really loading my charts. So this, I'll do it on this one. So the 3 criteria for a bear market: is it below the 200-day moving average? Is the volume falling? And is it broken structure of its prior high and low? So that's just the definition, right? So if you go by that, it's above the 200-day moving average. It hasn't broken its 2 prior low swings. And the volume is actually what I look at here, but I use it on Wave Master as well. So you can see here in the middle, you have like the wave flow. I use that on higher time frames. And also, you don't always have to use volume. That's just one indication. I would also say you can look at a higher time frame bias, for instance, like exponential moving averages or a CBBI. You guys know the CBBI. I haven't actually looked at the CBBI. Let's have a look now. It'll probably take a second to load. But I don't know where we went with that. Yeah, CBBI isn't either. It never went to, hasn't gone to 100 yet, or 98 and above. So that's another thing which isn't really calling for a bear market either. So yeah, this level here, guys, we're above it. So let me make it really simple. If we're above $107,000, we just can't be in a bear market because we're above the prior swing high. If you want to call this the prior swing high, maybe, but it's not really a definitive break. I would just say we're in this range bound sideways, we're in this range bound sideways. So there's no resolution here. If it did this to 74,000 and then came up and didn't manage to get above here, then you've got, that would be, okay, that criteria, has it broken systemic structure, would be yes, this market has. Also, that would see resistance on the 200-day moving average, which is interesting. And then you have to look at volume numbers and CBBI. I would say that if this scenario happens, you're probably about 50-50 that you're going to start a bear market. Doesn't mean it can't then break above it and reclaim it. That's what you have to do on the lower time frames. But that's about a 50-50. But that's going down to 74 in one go, and that's not happened. So we have to look at the reality of the situation. But yeah, I would say we're likely to do something like this, and we're going to continue, actually. Very similar to this move here. So you have, this is actually, you see that candle there, legends? We had that big dire move down, which wiped out and swept the liquidity. I think that's probably what we're doing, and then we're going to continue up. And this is not me, like, guys, if you're just watching this and you never seen me before, I'm like the opposite of always just a moon boy. I will tell you when I think it's going to go down, and I will tell you when I think it's going to go up. So this is not me just being like, oh, I'm a Bitcoin guy, it has to go up because I own it. No, that's a load of fucking bollocks. I'm not bullish or bearish. I'm not long or short. I'm not doing any of that crap. I'm just looking at the objective levels and saying, if I was a robot, what would I do? And that's why you have to automate, because you need to be a robot to a degree. So we're above this level, guys. Absolutely fine. We wicked through it. That means a lot of longs are gone as well. I would say continuation. In terms of the invalidation of that, in terms of analysis, so analyzing that and what's the invalidation of that, is yes, if we do lose 107,000 and 100,000 is a massive psychological level. If we lose 107 and then lose $100,000, which is a little bit lower here, I would say that's the first shot across the bow. And I would say that, yeah, we're actually looking pretty... How far do we go down? And if we do retest and then see resistance, then you could be talking about something else. And I could say, actually, potentially, guys, we could go into a bear market. We'd be below the 200-day. We would have broken structure. $100,000 is gone. Psychologically, that's not good. We'll have to keep an eye on the long-to-short ratio, obviously, though. At this point, guys, we're very long, so I think we're going down. At this point, on the lower time frame, This indicator, guys, is literally the only fucking thing you need. If there was one indicator you could trade on crypto, it's this. I built this with me and my team. You can only get it in MDX Algo. You can't get it on TradingView because it's not possible because they haven't got the feed-in data you need. This thing here, guys, like, let's just like look at it, right? Like, let me just explain. When short positions took over and everyone was more short than long, so green is long, short is red. When we crossed, which is here, you can see that the price went up. So when there's more shorts, the price goes against retail. These are idiot traders. These are faggots, fannies, and fascists. The 3 Fs. These guys don't know what they're doing. And actually, they, to a degree, calling them a fascist might be true, because they will silence you if you have a different opinion, and they will not listen. They will just do what they think is wrong, and that's why they always lose. There's truth to everything, Pete. So I'm saying that these guys are legitimately fascist, and they think they're right when they're wrong, and the price goes against them, because we know that freedom always prevails, and the fascists always lose. So this is fucking literally a great example. When you get the cross between longs and shorts, the price rises. And look, guys, as soon as the shorts began to come down and longs began to increase, it began to go flat. Ooh, where are we going to go? As soon as longs took over shorts, these guys, it just happened before the move, guys. It happened before the move. So, like, if you are someone who got really badly hurt by this specific Bitcoin nuke and then altcoin purge, you need to just look at this every day, like I do. Every single day, even Viking does. So Viking's one of our guys who does a video every single day in our group. He looks at it every single day as one of the first things he looks at, and he says, how am I going to look at the market today? What's the long to short ratio? This is what you need. You get this at mdxalgo.com. Literally, book a freaking call with us. Said it a billion times, but I'm saying if you book a call with us, I'm on those calls, by the way, I'll be there. We're doing a thing where you join our community, you join MDX Algo. We work with you for 45 days to get you profitable. And if you don't become profitable in 45 days, we will continue to work with you as a mentor until you do, using the MDX Algo tools. Then when you're profitable with MDX Algo, that means you're going to use it. Getting a phone call in the middle of the screen. I'm saying, as soon as... So basically what we're fucking doing here, legends, is book a call with us. The link is below. So I'll be on the call. I did a tweet about it. Let me show you the tweet. So here it is. I said, that's wrong. That's wrong. So this tweet here, legends. No, that's correct. What am I talking about? So I wrote, the next 10 people to book a call with me and my team. Here's the link, guys. I'll post the link. Post the link, Pete, if you can. I'll just do it, actually. Actually, no. Can you get the actual URL link? That'd be great, bro. If you could post it, it'd be amazing. Because I can't click on that. But yeah, guys, book a call with us. I'm on the call. So you come in. We basically show you how to become profitable with MDX Algo for 45 days. If you don't become profitable, we'll continue to work with you until you do. And then you use MDX Algo. So then you pay for the product, which means I can pay the $45,000 a month cost of the business. You get the product, you make money, and then we make money so I can continue to build the company. And then I can make it into a bigger company with the new bot system. So that's the jerk circle. All right, I'm completely open and transparent. I'm not like one of these.
Brother, if I can interrupt the jerk circle, you've actually had a donation for $2 asking for Dot and Cardano, Dot and Ada.
Brother, that's $1 each coin. I will happily spend my time wisely with you, and let's do this. So, thoughts on Dot? Yeah. Oh no, it was 2 different ones. Yeah. Oh, it was...
sorry, Cardano and Polkadot.
All right, let's do Dot first. I actually haven't looked at the Dot chart in a very long time. I don't.
Vikings here as well.
I don't even know. Has Viking joined? Does he? All right, let me get Viking in the call right now. He'll probably join now. Viking young squire.
You bums. What are you doing?
What's crack-a-lacking, man? What's the Dot ticker, bro? I can't even find it. Is it not Dot anymore? They changed it.
Polkadot?
In the chat, tell me the Dot ticker. Some reason it's...
POT, in it.
I'm doing Dot, but it's not coming up.
You're stuck on stocks.
I'm on stocks, man. I'm on stocks, man. Yeah, here we go. So let's have a look at the Dot chart. I'm just going to quickly do this, and then we can have a chat as well. Viking. Yeah, oh, guys, Dot, this is hectic, man. Wait, Dot nearly went to 0. I know that Atom went to 0.
Atom.
I know Atom went to 0 and Cosmos went to 0. So and like I said, with these guys, very difficult to persuade any big institution to start fucking investing in your shit when it went to 0 in 3 minutes once. It's not a good look, guys. I do think the thing is, like I said, I do think a lot of these altcoins are actually going to continue up. There's no reason for them to go down. There's no hunting of level. All the longs are gone. So I do think a lot of altcoins are actually going to have a big rally up. This has kind of come back to where it was. It's just a very, very unfortunate sideways flat base of support which got completely taken out and it basically went to 0. So I'm just saying, in terms of institutions looking to get into DOT for a long-term investment, it's probably unlikely. So it might not be able to be successful in the long run. It doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means it's harder. This, though, you know what? I don't know what there is to say, guys, about this. Really, it's just it went to 0 and now it's back to where it was, and like it's probably going to go up, and it's probably going to see some sort of. We haven't finished the bull market. Here's like, to be like completely clear. I don't really know, guys, on these alts. I would just say this: I think Bitcoin is going to go up. All right, I think Bitcoin's going to continue up by what I've seen on the charts. A lot of these charts, I don't see any representation of what can happen. I would say Bitcoin very likely, because I study Bitcoin every single day. If Bitcoin goes up, it means some of these alts will probably rise with it. Depending on how much, it probably comes down to... It probably does come down to the fundamentals. Can they attract new investment? Is the team decent? Are they going to be able to weather the storm? And then the ones that can't do that will fail, and the ones that can will stay. But I've said from the very beginning, guys, for the last at least a year and a half, and anyone can vouch for this, because I literally have people ringing me, telling me, even family, I've been saying... Don't even look at altcoins. Just Bitcoin hasn't even realized its vision of what it's going to be. Bitcoin is like trading altcoins, and not having Bitcoin and trading altcoins is like not owning the FANG stocks and only trying to pick Russell 5000 stocks. There is no example of any report, or there's no actual evidence that anyone can do that consistently. It's literally all luck. Out of 5,000 Russell stocks, it's nearly impossible to choose the right stock. And then not be in FANG. So you're trying to do it with altcoins, and there's 3 million altcoins, and you're not in Bitcoin. So just look at the fucking numbers. I don't think it's possible to make money in altcoins still yet. Like, I've made money myself in altcoins for specific swings up and down and got in and out. I'm just saying, if you're only trading altcoins and you're on leverage, I don't think it's possible. And I think that's been proven right, because anyone who did make loads of money over the last 10 years in altcoins lost everything on Friday. Everything, if you were stupid on your leverage side. But I don't think it's possible. I think we wait for Bitcoin to realize its vision. Once Bitcoin realizes what it's going to be and how big it's going to be in terms of the money market, 10, 20, 30 trillion, then we can start fucking thinking about what is the next thing for the decentralized application space. And I'm saying that, guys, as someone who was called Max DApp. I was talking about decentralized exchanges. I was talking about decentralized shit a decade ago, and it's still not time. It's still not time. Like, I was doing that 10 years ago. You just don't know. I think a good analogy would be, think about the internet. It was actually being built in the 70s, 80s, 20 years. The rough idea of what it is. Then the 90s was like maybe becoming useful, but everyone was still a scam on the internet. If you put your credit card into the internet in 1992, you probably got scammed. And the actual only realization of the internet being useful for millions of people, if not billions, was probably the 2000s. Maybe towards 2008, when there was the rise of the Amazons and the Googles and all these types of companies. And even even Google and Amazon were like, they still had parts of their business which was logistical based. So like the internet took even longer. It took like 50 years really to get the internet to like everyone using it. So crypto 2009 was Bitcoin, and then altcoins was 2015. So we've only been it's been a 10-year innings to where we are now. So we've probably got, like, before we really see an altcoin that actually does something legitimate, which is good, and it changes like the way we do everything, that's probably 30, 40 years off. And maybe even Bitcoin will take 20. But Bitcoin in itself is simple enough to make a difference today, because it can be used for remittance and money and transfer, and you can do anything. But yeah, anyway, the other altcoin was what?
Cardano, I think. Well,
Ado,
Viking in as well. His thoughts on more scam.
Yeah, well, Viking trades and looks at altcoins more than me. So having Viking on the stream is good. He does a stream every single day in our VIP group about alts. But Ada, just to quickly, I'll let you jump in, Viking. But I'd say Ada, I think it probably will survive long term because it's had multiple cycles anyway before. But again, institutionally, I think it's difficult. They're going to struggle to be able to put out a pitch saying, let's have an ETF when you went down in 3 minutes, 100% almost. But I do think ADA will continue. I think everything's going to have a big last push with Bitcoin as it rallies. When Bitcoin goes into the bear market, I still think it's seasonality bullish into the end of the year. I think it's sell in May and go away. I think May next year is when everything dies, whether it's Bitcoin or alts. And alts are going to die more than Bitcoin. But I think we've still got a little bit of fluffy bullishness until the end of the year, if not next. And then, yeah. What's your like higher time frame thought process, Viking, on this purge?
Well, it seems to be mostly localized in the sense that if you look at like the daily and weekly on Bitcoin, for example, you didn't break anything.
Yeah, daily's fine.
Back above the weirder one is if you look at the BTC1 exclamation mark, the CME chart. That's even more weird because that, obviously they closed before the dump absolutely hit. So that's structurally still sound. Is it just
a giga? There was no gap because it went down and then closed. It was 3 minutes. So yeah, it doesn't even look bad at all. Doesn't look bad at all. Look at the chart.
The thing that we want to avoid. Do you want me to screen share, by the way, or no?
Yeah. Okay. You can do that. It might be a bit slow. I could probably do it on my screen, but we can whack it up. Just click on, yeah, okay. You are now presenting, sire.
I am presenting.
Present yourself to us, Viking.
So yeah, no, I was looking at Cardano. So I'll just like fresh chart, nothing else on there. This is what's got me like the most interested in the whole chart is the fact that we have effectively swept all the way into 101.5 on Binance. It's different a bit on the different things, but we didn't lose this stuff. We closed back above Q4 on the weekly. The buyback rally was massive, so much so that
I agree. I said this a second ago, bro. I said this a second ago. I completely agree.
Yeah. So what we end up getting now is like a monthly doji candle. With the previous monthly structure being fully tested again now. So I'm much more concerned of closing a monthly under, call it 107, like the Q3 open, or closing a weekly out under September, like 108, 108.2. That's way more concerning to me because that's the actual swing fail of the structure. If we actually look at like the high time frame back, from the big failure, we lost all of the structure on the weekly in 1 week, and then it closed and we didn't test anything outside of the local stuff, and then we went lower. And this is actually like a perfect example of what we would expect in the bear market if we're looking for like what market structure specifically, like what things stand out as like, oh, if we're doing this, we're probably going to dump. So let me turn this off. Let's just look at the price action here. So this is the market structure of something that's like dying. Right, that is the death structure. That is when there's nothing recoverable. When you start having a widening down wedge away from a major break of high time frame structure, this type of price action here is the death price action, existing for one reason alone: to get people trying to do something before it absolutely capitulates everyone. That's it.
No, I've seen it's the reverse trumpet down shit. I remember me and Will used to laugh about it because it's like you can get these kind of wedges, which can be really good. Like you can trade wedges really nicely, but the down reverse trumpets, dodgy as fuck. But mate, what you're saying is what I said a second ago. Just to recap what you said, it's literally between $107,000 and $100,000. If we're above that, it's not possible that we're going into a bear market because we haven't broken systemic structure of anything. We're above the 200-day moving average. The volume's still okay, and we're above the structure. So I think it's between 107 and 100,000. If we lose that, then we can say 25% chance maybe a bear market. But then we have to see whether we get above 200-day. Then it would increase the probability. And if the volume begins to start, because if you look at macro, and I know you do more volume than me, when you do have the big spikes of red, it can actually be the beginning. You know, when you have the it's like a blow off top of negative volume or sell pressure. Massive red spike that did end up resulting in a bear market. We have got that almost now as well, where the red is now over, you know, it's trumped everything prior in the whole move. But I don't think this is a top. And I don't think you could even say it's a top because there's nothing on the chart from the three things that I look at to verify whether something's in a bull or bear cycle. The three things that I look at are all not broken yet. We're above the 200-day. We haven't broken symmetric structure. The volume's fine. So I would say we're all good. And I do think, I don't know what you think, I think you agree with me anyway, Viking. I think maybe we're going to have some sort of sideways consolidation and then a continuation from the last one. And that will mean all altcoins will probably rise. Bitcoin will rise as well. But when the next bear cycle happens, I think a lot of alts literally go to zero. A new thing comes along, which is a new technology or something, the AI quantum new decentralized application thing, and the SUIs and the things which we thought were sexy. This cycle will probably end up dying because they're not going to get institutional grade investment with those 85% crashes in 3 minutes. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree in large part. The institutional what just happened in the crypto world, for if you're trying, like, from the retail side compared to the institutional side, there's not a single serious person who's looking at a project right now.
Even non-serious people, like, bro. Even retards aren't looking at that.
Exist because the flash crash like that. I mean, you know, I remember it was one of the biggest things when there was a flash crash in the stock market. Like, people freaked the F out, and like people pulled everything. But this was, in my mind, this thing was extremely well coordinated. You know, for all
that's the one thing we should talk about. I'd like to discuss this with you, because the thing is, everyone, you know, I said this at the beginning of the stream. I was like, everyone thinks when prices fall, they're like, the money was wiped out. It's never wiped out. It's just coins moving from coin to coin, stock to stock, gold to bullion, whatever it is. Like, nothing's ever wiped out. It's still it's just a transfer between someone and somebody else. And sometimes the denominated value can go down or up. But we're looking at a denominated value in US dollars of something that goes up and down. Actually, in this specific scenario, altcoins, which a lot of people had on leverage, on cross margin, moved from, let's just say, an unsophisticated cross trader, because you're a fucking idiot if you're on cross, which I've said for a decade. But anyway, they didn't listen, they lost everything, that's fine. But I'm saying those cross traders who had all their money on cross and leverage, there was nothing wiped out. It was just those coins are now in someone else's wallet. And it's like, whose fucking wallet? And that's the question. There is an argument to say that there was some very, very big trades at very, very interesting times, which made someone hundreds of millions of dollars. And there's probably a bit of inside trading. Some of it must be a coincidence, because Mike C, for instance, said he had a giga short when my bot went short. So he made loads of money on that short, for instance, and I had some money on it. My bot was even short. So, but the 500 millions and the two, that gets a little bit dodgy, but it could have maybe been something on this level where there was some parameters that maybe some organizations wanted to see before they clicked some sort of button. It wouldn't be like a red button, but they would have an orchestrated amount. They would say, if these things align, let's try and push altcoins to zero and try and buy them because we've kind of missed it. That would be the only thing I would think that would be. It's hard to prove, hard to know if it's true, but I would say that's maybe what we could see there.
Yeah, that's the thing that also is, because I mean, I look at a lot of like order books, liquidity, like when I do
show us
trading.
What we got here. Okay,
like I look at the you know, what's available, like especially position sizing and alts on perpetuals. You have to know how much slippage you potentially cause in the market depending on the size of your trade. And like, so a lot of what I do is like liquidity dynamics and analysis to make sure that like books can.
We see it every day, bro. Guys, Viking does a stream in our VIP group Discord every day. It's like the staple. You're showing a chart right now of the indicators as well, where they sold before the nuke as well. So,
yeah. So I mean, a lot of like 95% of my portfolio is algorithmic. It's completely and utterly controlled by mechanics of indicators and strategies. So I can manage that because my top-down view makes me now. I kind of have the mentality now of like a portfolio manager, where my bots or my systems that are trading on different servers, they are my traders, and I then analyze them week to week. Who's performing good? Who's performing bad? Which ones do I have to like fire, right? And which ones do I need to give more, capital in order to? Yeah, and that's the way I approach that in general. But just in on paper here. or on the screen here, the thing that got me the most miffed of like looking at the order books is that all of the market makers pulled everything. As
we can see a chart right now. Are you showing the order books or are you showing this chart? Yeah. Okay. You are.
Yeah. So all I'm showing right now is like the Algo Master itself. Like this thing flipped short on Thursday. Okay. So like that was like the first thing. That's something I always look at. Like what's the 4 hour? To me, the 4 hour time frame is the GOAT. It's the golden hour. It's the time frame that if you're not a profitable trader, you need to stop what you're doing, go on the 4 hour and trade like lowest amount of exposure, like 1x long or short, or just spot, so long only, buying and selling. Do that for a couple of months until you become an assassin, and then you go low in time frame.
No, I think
actually
your analogy, bro, your analogy right there about what you do is you analyze the bots that are trading and you look at them as your traders, and then you fire them if they're doing well, if they're doing badly, and you hire new ones if they're doing well. That's a great analogy for if you're trading this market, guys, and you're not automated in any way. Think about that, because there's no way you can go forward after an 85% drop in 3 minutes and not consider massively automating your trading, because this is automated. You can automate Algo Master, guys. This indicator you're seeing right now is the indicator from MDX Algo called Algo Master. We're about to launch a product where you can see thousands of different settings, how profitable those settings are. Click one button, and then your indicator will be those settings. And then you can automate by connecting TradingView to Wonder Trading we use as our partner, and then that goes to your exchange. We don't want to get into the complication of connecting your exchange for you. We'll let the other companies, we'll let you use a third party. That's coming down the line, but I don't want to get into legal and management of API keys and all that kind of stuff. It takes a long time to do that, I would say. And also, you probably end up in fucking jail if you get it wrong. So I'm saying I would rather build a product which gives you the services for you to see the backtested results of the bots, and then you can click one button. Because you can do all this right now, by the way, but we recommend using having a mentor. Because if you have a mentor, you're going to set it up correctly. Because this the trading, guys, everyone thinks it's so fucking simple. It's highly complex. There's lots of different things you're not going to think about. It's a long journey to get to where me and Viking are. It's taken us decades, or let's just say me 15. Viking, you've been trading about the same time as me. We actually, I remember back in the day, years ago. So like, it's taken us so long to get here. If you think you're going to jump into this and just suddenly get it going, it's not going to happen. It takes time. So we recommend a mentor, Eggle, Ingo, or guys, even Viking. But yeah, you can automate these strategies. You have to automate at least 25% of your money. Not all of it. It can just be 25% swing, 25% spot, 25% on Algo Master with automation. But if you're not automated, you're not making money. That's it in this game moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, that's really nail on the head right there. That's the big thing here is like Algo Master's already prepped, so you literally make one alert, and it'll give you the option of firing all of these different signals through one alert. So it's not complicated. You go on whatever connector.
Thing is, bro, but the thing is, like, you got to remember, like, it's not complicated to you.
There's no coding, nothing.
Most people, though, like, I mean, I've had conversations today. The thing is, we forget, like how much we know. There's actually a principle. I can't remember the name of it. There's a principle that I learned about, which was like the more you begin to know about something, the less of the barrier of what you think other people know. So that's not really a good way of explaining it. So it's like the more you know about something, you forget yourself how little other people know, because you can't remember when you started how much you didn't know. So like you can go on rants about stuff, and they're like, mate, you're talking hieroglyphics right now. I don't know what you're on about. And it's because they didn't even know what a TradingView panel is. You know what I mean? They didn't even know what an order book is. They didn't even know, like, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to, in MDX Algo, make it so we do bring the simplicity down to a level where you can click and play. But I would still say have a mentor anyway. Even if we build the system so you can just click and play this shit, I would still say have a mentor, just so you at least know what's going on behind the scenes. Because this is a fucking difficult, complex game. And even dudes in crypto who've been in crypto for 10 years and they were using cross margin and it was all fine. And a lot of these guys have been trading for 10 years and they made loads of money in crypto and they were on cross margin and everything was hunky-dory. Now they're all broke. They lost everything. And it's just like, the market can do anything anytime, guys. And you can lose a whole account in 3 minutes. Crazy out there.
Yeah, and that's the big thing is like it is not complicated, but it does take time. At least not to me, but you know, it does take time to learn a bit, and that's why we have the academy. So like all of those videos of Eggle doing all the bot trading.
It's here. You go to not indicators. One sec. You go here, guys, strategy tutorials, and there's just fucking tons of tutorial videos all here. And we go through it all. But I'd highly recommend, this is what we're doing right now, guys. If you're watching this video and you're like, shit, I got wrecked, go to the description box below. I think Pete posted the link somewhere. I can't remember exactly.
Mike's got it in the chat, guys.
Yeah, Mike will post it in the chat. Book a call with us. We'll work with you for 45 days. You can buy the platform. We'll work for you for 45 days. If you are not profitable in 45 days, we will continue to work with you until you are. So we won't stop working with you. You'll have a mentor. We will basically make you profitable with MDX Algo. So then you have to use MDX Algo to be profitable. But that means you have to buy MDX Algo. So we make money and then you make money. Like I said, it's a jerk fucking circle. Like jerk chicken, fried chicken, baby. It does work on Bybit.
Got a really good strategy. Like I know a lot of people are super interested in altcoins, but it's like, how do I pick what and where and why? If you got like 5, I can show you this really cool way to use the capital flow index to like scan for tickers that are breaking out.
Mate, I've got capital flow index up actually on one of my charts. I think I may have changed it over to this one. Let me just go back to that actually. I want to leave it on Binance. Yeah, I'll go on your chart now. You can show us the capital flow index. Make the pain bigger and like explain it as simple as possible, bro. Because we forget that you're talking about the capital flow index. Like someone's gonna be like, what? Yeah. What does that even mean?
Yeah. So let me just see. It's up. Perfect.
Make it big.
The thing that make it big. Make it big. So
no, your screen looks fine. I'm saying the actual indicator itself.
Yeah. So the best thing to do here is like, so this is the capital flow index. I'll just, size it up so you can see the rest of the, compared to the chart. Default setting is it's just showing large caps of capital flow into large caps, altcoins, and shitcoins. And effectively what you end up seeing is areas where and I'm on the daily time frame, when anything that's breaking above 60 is very strong. That means so that those asset classes you look at are really strong. Or if it's breaking below minus 60, it's very weak, right? And when these things collapse back, when they're above these key levels of 60% and minus 60, it's the way we've had it set up is like, this is like the line where if it's breaking this hard, it's showing a major reversal in that asset class. Or if it's breaking above it, stable coins, obviously major liquidation. But there's a cooler way to use this that I've been messing around with a lot. So I'll make it like full screen here. There is something in this because you can use based on price, volume, volatility. So you can kind of scan for what you're looking for, your keys, if you're looking for a massive volume spike or if you're looking for volatility to increase. But one thing you can do is you can set manual. And manual mode allows you to then plug in up to 32 tickers of your own that you can then like scan for. And the cool thing about that and why it's so useful is that in TradingView, they have the scanner, like the screener, right? With this, you can then go into your exchange that you use, the symbol type, which is perpetual, quote, currency, USDT. Based on the size of the trade, I want to make sure it has over 10 million 24-hour value, 24-hour value. So it can't actually like cause too much slippage in the book. And then basically you go through the lists and like you can use the built-in tech rating that TradingView has, or you could just pick the top 10 coins or whatever coins you like to trade and then plug them into the capital flow index, which is what I've done now with like the top 10 highest performing alts supposedly. And by having it on the daily time frame, it means that I can now get alerted if say PAX-G, so gold
PAX-G's been killing it, man.
August. Yeah, so gold breaking out in August and you wanted like a long signal, like that's how long it's been in place. And all of these things basically are telling you like when you're breaking above 60, you want to look at it. So let's pick one as an example. HUSDT is breaking out on the day. Let's go with whatever HUSDT P is on the Binance chart or the Bybit chart, excuse me. So there you go. It's a massive up candle on the day that is breaking out. Now, this is not stuck on the daily time frame. If I trade on the daily, most of my altcoin rotation algorithms that I run, they all run on the daily time frame because I don't care. I want something to long, eggs out of it when something else is breaking out, and it'll just kind of rotate and swap. So then you could go to like the 4-hour. It's like, I wonder if there was like a way to find out if this thing was breaking out. Well, let's go now that on the 4-hour, we're getting different scores. So that's why that's even a weaker comparison. What about SNX? Let's look at that.
SNX, man. I'm massive on the screen now these days. Big fucking head on the screen.
Yeah, so SNX was breaking out of the structure on this candle. So the open of this candle, it was already breaking above 60%. So you could have caught the whole breakout just by creating an alert on the SNX chart. And so by this candle, right? It's already done an 85% move to like the current price, which is wild. So like, and all of these are alertable. Like, so you can just add an alert and say SNX USDP, any alert function call. How about I set it as crossing, and then the value is 60%. Only once. Create. Done. Now I can get a breakout alert set for SNX, and I can do that for my whole list. And all that means now is that I'm going to get a ping. I'm going to get an alert.
What level in the chat, guys? Because we never know. What level of trading are you? Is this making sense to you, what you're hearing? Or is this complete hieroglyphics? Or like, what's going on? How much of this do you understand? In the chat, tell us. Like, are you complete novice? You've been trading for fucking 2 decades? Did you get wrecked? I'll do another question in a second as well. Did you get wrecked or not recently? And that would be interesting. But yeah, no, the capital flow index is it's essentially about trying to find the niche of whatever, like, let's say the industry of crypto, and find out which niches are the ones which are going to have their kind of their moments. 4 years in the game. Noob. Mike C. Now, Mike C, you're a G, bro. You got a fucking new $100,000 Mercedes, my friend. Pays off when you have patience.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, this is basically just an easy way to like basically scan the tickers that you're good at trading. So everyone should already be journaling. I know that's, you know, doing extra work, but I've never met a trader that is very specific, journals all of their trades, records what they're doing, and like analyzes it and tries to improve. Like, I've never met one that's not profitable just by doing that extra work. And then with
I'll tell you what, I do know a few people who've tried to journal have not become profitable, because just writing down what happened still doesn't mean you learn from your mistakes. It increases the probability of you learning from your mistakes, but some people are literally hopeless. So it's, yeah, I wouldn't say everybody, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, journaling correctly. So like, I mean, not just writing down what happened, but like, okay, so I used to shoot a lot. I mean, you have these things called shot books, where if you're shooting at a target, then you as soon as you pull the trigger, you lean down on your shot book and you write where you think you hit. So it's kind of like when you enter the trade, you take a snapshot of where you entered the trade, what your trade plan is, what your risk reward is, what your take profit zones are, and why. And then you base, you know, that was what you think is going to happen. And then when the trade ends, then you take another snapshot and you analyze it. That's proper journaling, because then you can actually see like what I thought versus what actually happened. And then you can teach your brain, then your brain's like, oh, I thought this and I was wrong because of this. And now
are you talking about, you're talking about hunting? Okay. You're not talking about when you're in the Marines, all those people you
Oh no,
blasted.
it was when I was in the Marines, but yeah, I mean, okay. I was a shooting instructor, so like I was one of my side jobs. So yeah, you would take a shot, then you would look at where the target actually hit and compare where you thought you hit versus where it actually hit, and now you make adjustments.
Bro, I still
over and over and over again.
Yeah, sometimes I forget you're in the Marines. I still think you should change your name to Crypto Marine. I think it just makes more sense, bro. You were a fucking Marine, bro. You were blasting people with fucking guns. They should be Crypto Marine. That's your name, bro.
But I mean,
you feel like it's disrespectful to the Marine Corps. I don't think it is. I think it's respectful. You're like, this is like me. But anyway, it's your decision, bro.
Well, I also don't want to get associated with like the Link Marines and those.
Oh yeah, actually, wait, it's gay as fuck, isn't it?
I forgot about Link Marines.
No, yeah, they'll think you're a chain link dude. You should call yourself Crypto Viking Marine, or the Crypto Vareem, the Vagina Marine.
But yeah, so this is just an easy one to know about, like to learn about like capital flow, and then, you know, it gets people thinking too. So they start thinking about like, oh, well, what about cash flow? And like, how do I use that? How does that utilize and come into my strategies? Or my favorite is like the volume delta. Like,
this indicator is mad, man. Like, it literally is kind of a, if it's green, it goes up. If it's red, it goes down. Like this indicator, guys. If you got MDX Algo, just type in volume delta. Volume delta. And then you have to put we call it bands mode or something, don't we?
Yeah, so on volume delta, you have the heat map, and which looks really sexy. It's a bit harder the volume heat map looks really sexy, but it's a bit harder to read. It's way more based on understanding why there's volume buildups in zones. When
the red and green one is so easy to use, bro.
Exactly. So that's why we got that. I mean, here it's like okay, where's the volume spike locked in at the open of this candle? Where's the volume spike locked in at the close of this candle? Where's the volume spike locked in at the close of this candle? So like each time this is happening, and you see the bull side just fall away, right? Falls away completely. Like it's just the freest like heads up, like
free
hey,
money.
the market's about to go poop off.
Yeah, no, a combination of this. We've been saying this for yonks. Wait, what? One sec. I'm getting blasted. No, bro. Not
hey,
now.
Guys, don't worry. I think Crypto Capo has officially called this the cycle top.
It's definitely going. It's definitely going up. It's definitely going up. But no, I'm saying this indicator, Legends. If you have the volume delta and then you use long to short ratio from the website, yeah, it's pretty much a fucking god signal. If you've got red coming on the fucking volume delta and then you got longs crossing shorts like we did at the beginning of this nuke, two variants right there, which is pretty fucking simple. And I think generally, looking at what we're at now, we're probably going to get a move down. But if Capo's said, yeah, Capo chats cap, he is the king of the cap. So yeah, he's done. He's going to go up. Like I think we have a nice big blow off top. And the only way I change my tune is if we lose 100k. 107, between 107 and 100k. The thing is about these people as well, like what's he even saying? Like, how can you say it's the top? It's just pot luck. It's just there's nothing. There's no rationale.
It's for the last year or last 12 months. He's basically been saying. That
he did. Oh yeah, he did a Soloway. He did a fucking Soloway where it's like, no, it's scary. The longer and longer that. Yeah, I'm in the industry for my anecdotal perspective is that the longer and longer I'm in the market, the less, well, it's basically zero now, but like I'm saying, the less and less I can ever listen to anyone, and the more and more you realize that 99% of people are fucking morons, bruv. Like when it comes to trading, they're probably nice people. I'm just saying that they're legitimately moronic, and even Raoul Paul is just like in the top 5. Like it's just absolute slosh pot bollocks, and like none of them have done any actual like hard work. Like I know, I'm kind of moving out of the fucking horrible trenches of it all, but like they never I don't think any of these guys ever went through the trenches. I don't think they ever really like learned the hard lessons, because like I just don't see any way where Capo can come out and be like, now it's the top, and now it's the top, now it's the top. Like, have you not learned anything? Like, you don't try and time this shit. You wait for the fucking break of structure. What are his criteria? Like, what are the things he thinks about when he says it's the top? I think he genuinely wakes up, and if he feels like it's the top because it went up loads, he says it. Like, that's fucking mental.
There you go. It's a nice comment in the chat. Most stuff full of shit. MDX Group is legit. Most base traders in one place.
Yeah, Plumas, you legend. Yeah, no, we got a really strong
is a
community.
G, man. He's in every market update.
Oh no, we got Soyaz in the building. Got wrecked. Viking gave us an awesome tip the other day, just journaling. Yeah, I'm ashamed to hear that you got wrecked.
Yeah, and it's the problem with cross, man. It's like it's a hell of a drug, and what people don't realize is that if the market is dumping and the market makers pull their books, like what just happened, there were no bids. No one coming to save you.
Yeah, it's a house of cards, and also it makes you realize that how unbelievably unstable the altcoin market is. Even the high caps, like the Solanas and the Ethereums, 2 did okay, but both of them have got massive ETFs and huge institutional grade investment and all this kind of stuff. But it just makes you realize, like, these are absolute shitters. There's nothing back in these cunts. Like, we've got basically zero, because it's the perpetual nature of crypto, where it's like you can't really go on margin to keep your positions open. It's just a complete it's just done. I just don't think any of those guys who got wrecked on cross will come back. I think they lost too much, which is a shame for the open interest and the volume. But we just have to like get decent people to come and trade this market, because it's like it just goes to show how small it is. It's so much smaller than we even thought with that amount of drop in price that fast. It was the biggest purge ever for altcoins, and we're at the top for Bitcoin, and it's just like Bitcoin's the only thing you could even think about hedging short with leverage. Altcoins never touch leverage, only buy spot, and then potentially hedge if you have something like an Ethereum or a Solana, and it's just like a lot of these coins are now going to have their probably blow off tops and then not return, because I don't think anyone serious is going to... You don't even have to know what you're doing anymore. Like, you just have to go, it went down 85% in 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm not going to... Nah, not cool with that. Like, it's done.
And then you look at the CME chart, and that's not even broke anything, and that huge gap is still in place at like 109.9 to 111.3.
Yeah, the CME gap. Well, the CME hasn't got a gap. CME just looks normal. Look at it.
Yeah, it's just doing a major retracement.
It happened in 3 minutes. Like, it was, and the timing was kind of suspicious as well, because it was closed and it was Friday evening, where everyone's coming off the charts and beginning to get hyped up for their weekends, having a couple pints. So it's yeah, you know, we never know. Like, this is the mystery of it's the mystery of order book trading for the last however long it's been was created. It's just difficult to be able to connect the dots between collusion and manipulation, because the nature of Bitcoin or any tradable asset is that you buying or selling it indirectly changes the price. So that's why it's not really possible to create any golden bullet of always profitability, because the fact of you buying it changes it. So it's like you essentially manipulate the thing that you buy and sell, which means that if you do have something profitable which works, then you just increase your size. The more you increase your size means the more you change the price, which means then the thing that you were doing doesn't work faster. So it's like, if you make loads of money on a certain strategy, it's then not going to work because you've just made loads of money. So now you actually change the price yourself if you had enough money, and then other people will copy it, and then people, you know, that's the nature of this game. We just don't know. Someone probably knows, but it's inside trading. So it's just, I don't know. I would love to know, but it's probably not possible. There's no point umming and ahhing about it.
Yeah, I mean, like I keep saying, you have to automate. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just automation. Just book a call with us, guys. Really... Get automation. Do my free bot. Get the fucking Algo Master. Get on a call with us. Do all that kind of shit. This is Raoul Paul. Let's have a listen. Go on.
Choose some DeFi stuff. Choose some DeFi, choose some DeFi, choose some DeFi, choose some DeFi stuff.
He's the
stuff
worst.
Like Terra Network. You can just put money, stake the network, and get 20%.
You
and they're
fucking
basically
idiot.
risk-free.
Oh.
You can just put money, stake the network, and get 20%, and get 20%, and get 20%, and get 20%, and get 20%.
20% is
20%. Basically risk-free. Basically risk-free. Basically
this is genius. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
I'm going to do it, which I told you before is a feature of mine. That's the bull market. You shouldn't own Bitcoin because it's going to underperform.
Oh.
And in the bear market, you should own stablecoins. So in which case, why should you ever own Bitcoin?
What's happening with the UST price? And Raul, I don't know if you want to pull up a chart too. It's not looking pretty.
I just interviewed Doe this morning, by the way.
Raul, when you hopped into this recording room, UST price was at 98 cents being defended. Do you know what it is right now?
No.
It's at 92 cents. Yeah.
And in the bear market, you should own stablecoins.
Yeah, so that's $1 billion of stablecoin market cap that's gotten erased in the last 30 minutes.
You should own stablecoins. You should own stablecoins. You should own stablecoins. You should own stablecoins.
As I'm monitoring Twitter right now, and the Luna Guard, the Luna Foundation that has the BTC, has just sent their BTC outbound.
And they're basically risk-free, 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 risk-free.
Do you know what it is right now?
He's an absolute.
It's at 92 cents.
All right, yeah, stop it.
Yeah.
Bro, bro, listen, like, this was Luna. Mate, this was one thing, but he said the same shit about Sui. Like, my mate Alex sent me a picture of him saying, I'm irresponsibly long on Sui. If you're on 3x, you're fine. And it's just like, what are you doing? I remember, mate, at the time I was in Dubai, I was looking at the chart. You can go back and find the video, and I was looking at the Luna chart, and I was saying, guys, there's just something suspicious about this. Anything that is just programmed just to go up because it goes up, you always have a reckoning. It's always like, yeah, the chickens come home to roost. Like, there's always a day where everything comes back to what it should do, and Luna was exactly that thing. I looked at the chart, I was like, guys, there's just something up with this chart. Like, it can't continue to do this. It's going to have some sort of break, and the reason it did break was because that fucking dude called Eno, or whatever his name was, the guy who created Luna, he basically forced the Anchor network to pay 20%, but it couldn't have an open free market dynamic to dictate what the interest rate would be. So essentially, it's actually a really good representation of how like centralized leadership or centralized systems can break if one person becomes like a fucking dictator of the system and then forces, it says no, we will always pay out 20%, but you don't let any like free open dynamic dictate that. And then that's why Luna crashed, because the Anchor protocol essentially snapped. It couldn't pay the 20%. When no one could get 20%, they all started flooding the thing to get out of UST, and then it sent it to zero and broke the whole network. But it's just like, I don't know how Raoul Pal, like, he's a fucking turnip. And like at the end of the day, like even Lex Van Dan said it himself. I watched the whole TV show about it. You had fat Raoul Pal sitting in the trading desk office, and he was teaching these kids, essentially like teenagers or young professionals, how to trade, and he was literally showing them crypto charts and the Moon Carl charts. It was like big triangles, and it's like, bruv, he doesn't understand anything about this shit. Like, it's fucked. You should watch the video. It's called it was a show about getting British people good at trading within 6 months or something. And there was a guy called Vex Langdon, who was a very, very successful London Wall Street kind of guy. And then Raoul Pal's in the video, and he's on a chart doing like crypto charts, wrecking them. It's there needs to be a video about him getting everybody right. What's this, Pete? Oh no.
Yeah, it's just another sad story of the fallout of, you know, what's happened. 6 years of DCA and he's been liquidated. He just got a bit greedy and tried to make up on some missed time when he wasn't DCAing, and then he'd done a couple of leverage trades, and then
was he on cross? Let me read. I can't be asked to read the whole thing. What is the crux of it?
But yeah, he's basically just wrecked himself in it after all that time, just being like quite strategic and diligent in his strategy. And then
it said here, if you're new to Bitcoin, I was there when it was 4K.
He basically just wants to wait until there's a next entry point. But yeah, someone else mentioned that guy in Kiev who shot himself, the crypto trader in his Lamborghini. He shot himself. So
it's just really sad. And I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's, you know, that's why we were so active over the weekend in the community. Like, all the mentors were reaching out to their mentees, and we were, you know, chatting with everyone. A bit of a mixed bag, but I mean, quite a few positive ones in our group as well. Is just
your post here. You wrote about it here. I can see your post.
Yeah, you got to be there for people, and like, but money's a hell of a thing, especially when it goes to shit. And
all I can fucking say is, if you got wrecked, just join MDX Algo, because it will significantly reduce your chance of that. Like, even Algo Master was a massive sell signal before it happened. My bot sold as well. I even called fucking I sold all my BNB to cash. I think if anyone owns BNB right now, not financial advice, but sell all your BNB and put it into Bitcoin. BNB is up 100% in 3 fucking weeks, and we know that the army. The thing is about BNB is, like, CZ has $60 billion of volume a day happening, so he has this insanely strong cartel, could call it, and the price of BNB is just up, like, right now. Like, this is the time to sell this fucking thing, because, like, obviously when Bitcoin goes, sorry, wrong coin, one sec. When Bitcoin actually goes into its bear market, which will happen, BNB is definitely going to come down and go back to 700 or lower. And if you look at BNB right now, it's taken back the high. If you let it load, young squires. Shit, we've done an hour and a half. Been a long stream, actually. Yeah, so you see here, like, BNB, I sold all my BNB, like, right at the top. Literally, it was kind of mental. I sold it, like, 4 days before it went all the way back down to $700. But this chart here, it's gone rapidly to the upside. Bitcoin's down. It might even go lower. This is a trade. Get out of BNB and go into Bitcoin, because BNB is very likely going to come back. Probably do something like this. Arc out and then continue. Because I do think BNB will go higher, and I do think it could even go higher now, but I would just say on the basis of probabilities, instinctual, this is very likely to come back here again at some point. But if Bitcoin will probably be on its way up again by that time anyway. BTC, we've got another buy on the bot as well. I think there's going to be a nice counter trade on the bot. So my Hodl Bot bought here and sold here, so 2 massively successful trades. But it only has a 33% win rate, so I'd say actually it's a good time to start counter trading it for the next couple of weeks. So any trade that my bot takes, counter trade it. Not because it's a bad bot, it just means that when the trades which aren't good, you just don't lose any money. So you just hedge directly 100% of the trades. So you leave it running, it makes money in the long run.
It's very conditional. Like we have a whole strategy built. I think Zeus was one of our mentors was
Pax
the one
G.
who built the strategy on. Yeah.
Pax G strat.
He built out the counter trade where, certain parameters like high frequency trading on that wave master going down.
Yeah, no, let me just I don't want to take away from Zeus because he's great, but Zeus didn't create the counter trading strategy. That's my strategy. I've been doing that for 7 years. I wrote about it. So no, like I said, I don't want to take away from it, but don't fucking steal my thunder, motherfucker.
He refined it and put it on paper, and it's easy.
No. Listen. Hey, listen to me, motherfucker. Hey, brother, listen to me, you marine motherfucker. I refined it and I wrote it, and he executed it because he's a legend. But yeah, of course.
But now we got the alert that counter trade, or not the counter trade, but the bot signals are going right in the Discord. So everyone gets alerted on the counter trade.
It's epic. I think if you go here, guys, if you guys don't know this, go check it out. But if you click on Bitcoin alerts, you got all the alerts from Algo Master, but also in here you can see, MDX bot 1 hour. So you can see these, and it says potential counter trade opportunity with correct parameters. But it's very simple. The bot's very successful in long-term timeframes, but it's not on short-term, and it has a 33% win rate. So that means you have a 64% chance of every trade it takes for you to make money if you counter trade it. So it's very simple. This one here.
What do you what do you two think about people saying that their stops weren't triggered because it was so quick?
All right, I'll answer this one first. Viking, I know what you're going to say. Listen, 99.9% of the fucking time, stops do not get missed. If you use cross leverage, though, what happens is, depending on how high and your equity account is, you can be pushed into the back or the front of a queue. Okay, and a queue means that there's only a certain amount of buyers and sellers on each price. So there's a queue, and you might get pushed to the end of that queue, which might mean you have your stop loss is moved. But it's very unlikely that on the big exchanges, and I've spoken to Ben, the founder of Bybit, about this specifically, because it's not like they're doing anything. It's just a program. Like it's not going to miss your stop loss on a good big exchange. It's always usually an excuse for someone who either was over leveraged or didn't have a stop loss. It's always the excuse. And also, I hear it so many times that it has to be most of the time bullshit, because it's not going to happen a fucking 50 times. Like there's no chance. So hands down, 99.9% of the time, it's a load of bollocks, and it's an excuse for someone who's trying to blame the fucking exchange because they can't look themselves in the mirror and say it was my fault and I'm an idiot and I'm going to learn from my mistakes. It's just cowardice. But there are examples where exchanges do crash, for instance with BitMEX, which was a shit exchange, and it can happen. So I'm not saying it's impossible. Exchanges can break. And that's why you have these very fast matching engines. But I'm just saying a very high probability of the time is due to lack of it's like lack of taking responsibility for your actions and lying to try and make yourself feel better. But it is very unlikely you get skipped. And I think you're on the same page, Vikey, but I think did you ever say it happened to you before?
Oh yeah, I've had it happen to me before, but I mean, that's why when I have larger positions that if I'm manually doing it, I put in extra stop losses. Like, and even all my algorithmic trading, I put extra stuff. And even like soft stops, where basically if it's halfway through the stop loss, it'll cut half the position just to size down. I mean, like
that's the smart thing to do for sure. Just do it anyway.
Yeah,
just do an extra. Just have an extra accountability. Have multiple stops. Yeah. But I heard it too many times.
But also, you have to have bids. You want someone that has to be there to do the opposite of what you're doing. If you're longing, you need someone else to short. Like you need counters. And when we're in these like extreme liquidation events, nobody's doing anything. No one with a brain cell is.
Yeah, no, it's a quick move, man. It's I do agree that on some shit exchanges, like BitMEX for sure was a shit show. you're gonna have a lot of problems. But overall, like, it's using an excuse, and like, you know, I would just say, like, if you're gonna trade on isolated. If you're using leverage, and don't use leverage for longs, just use it to look for head shorts and be smart, because these things can happen so rapidly. You never know. It happened in a minute. It happened in 3 fucking minutes out of nowhere. Even if you were the best trader in the world, you couldn't have done this. So just think about it in a critical sense. Like, it's not possible for you sitting in your fucking boxer shorts while smoking a vape with not looking at the charts. It's not possible for you guys to do it, to trade leverage and be successful. So just don't do it. It's too hard, and it's too.
I mean,
even the best in the world can't do it. So like, just don't do it.
I mean, you made a good point. It's like, just trade spot. I mean,
yeah, and hedge against with leverage.
Yeah,
if you're hedging against.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. It's like I showed earlier with the capital flow index of like being able to scan coins, altcoins for whatever. You can use that and just buy the breakouts. Every time it breaks over, you just buy.
Let me have a fucking
the
vape,
spot,
man.
and then you sell.
I'm actually gonna do sitting in my boxer shorts and have a vape. Listen, bruv. The issue is, I actually genuinely think this is like quite a bad thing. The more you say something to someone for them not to do it, I think like secretly it's a little bit patronizing. You're like, what do you mean? I can do it. And the problem is like, I genuinely believe that when you come out and say don't use leverage, it's for professional traders, it's a very advanced tool, it probably makes people do it more, because they're like, no, I want to be the advanced. Everyone thinks that they're the guy, don't they? Everyone thinks that they're the fucking middle man. They think that they're the star of the show. Like, you have to be humble. Like,
so
the only way you're gonna make the only fucking way you're gonna make it. And I went through this process myself. Like, there was genuinely a moment where I had to look myself in the mirror and be so humble and say, I'm actually a fucking idiot. I am not capable at this point of doing this right now. And I had to look at myself in the mirror and change, because I had to own up to I genuinely remember the period. It was in a horrible bear cycle. I got liquidated. I had a hedge fund I was running with family and friends' money. I went through the whole thing, and you have to go to that level and you have to own up to it. And it's a humility factor. But most people won't go there. And that's why they're fucking wrecked. But when you do go there and you kind of come out the other side, then you say, actually, I'm not smart enough, but that's fine. Let's mitigate the risks by using risk management, and then you actually get somewhere. And this moment hopefully will be good for people. I know it's hard, but it will be good eventually if you don't start saying, no, my stop loss got stopped, it got skipped, it's not me. No, it's just stop it. Like, it's just a moment of becoming a fucking...
Good point, though. That is a good point, though. It's like the people, if you have the mentality and somebody's saying, like, if you're not a profitable trader, don't use leverage. If that triggers a response in you to say, screw you, I know what I'm doing, I'm going to go take a trade, you don't have the mentality of a trader. You literally don't. Like, that's almost like a entry level question. It's if you're getting dared by someone or someone saying something you don't agree with and you do the opposite, like, that's the opposite of a trader mentality.
You have to fucking be. You have to be very humble. I'm glad that I never even thought of myself of being a trader in any sense, really, when I was like young. It just happened. And it was like, it's very good for you, because it does make you more objective, it makes you be more rational, and it also makes you understand that you not knowing is usually the best thing for you, and you it makes you think that you not being smart enough, right, is actually almost a gift. Because if you think you're smart enough and then you go against what everyone's saying and say, no, I'm better than that, I can do it, and stop trying to patronize me, that's what gets you wrecked. It's not you being humble and saying, maybe I don't know, actually. Let's just slow it down a little bit. Let's not touch that leverage tool. Let's slow it down and be fucking human, and then have be a bit humble. Eat the humble pie. And I wouldn't say I'm the best example of humble pie, but I would say probably like, in terms of my own brain,
not your personality, but like in your trading. Like, that's the thing. It's like, if you can, why do you think so many really great like billionaires and millionaires who are investment funds, a lot of them are sociopaths because they don't have an ego, right?
Yeah,
so
like it's a combination of the two. Yeah, I guess there's a great
trading. Like, my brain is a totally different thing from when I am, like, with my like my wife and my kids, like totally different from when I'm actually like trading. Then it's like, I'm here to slit throats and take as much money as I can from people, but I'm going to only be objective and look at the confluence of my traits, and like that's what I'm looking for. And like, you have to have that kind of like killer mentality, but like without an ego. It's like, this is my job. This is what I'm doing.
Is it honestly as simple as just saying, I'm not going to trade with leverage, and I'm just going to do spot buying and selling, and then get good at the thing, because everyone like jumps to leverage like it's the next step. It's like, no, just like get good with a small account and just buy and sell. And like, guess what? It's actually not that hard. Like, it's not that fucking hard. Like, I'm not wrecked right now. I fucking instinctually sold, and I've got money, I got side cash, and my bot did my thing. That took a long time to get here, but I'm saying like, just get good with a small account and buy and sell with spot. Don't even look at leverage. And if you really want to do leverage when you can do spot, then only hedge against your portfolio and just get away from it. It's just too difficult. It's not just like hard, it's also mentally taxing. Like that period where I did like 10 months straight, I remember like I was like white, like Pete, remember when I was in I think even Pete, remember when I just like didn't leave that flat for like months? I was just like a little ghost in that little basement flat. That was the period where I was doing it. And I was like a white pasty dude wearing a red hat with a beard. Like, it was fucked. It's hard, like, in terms of it's just hard to do it. Even, I'm just saying, like, to be in leverage positions, because you have an issue where, like I said, with the whole sweet shop thing and, like, being an alcoholic, it's like, if you put yourself in the environment to be around it, it's like you get absorbed more into it, and then you have this issue where you're always monitoring your charts, and then if you don't sleep one night, you fuck up the next day, and then you're really tired, and then you make worse decisions, you spiral out of control. You just got to stay away from this shit. It's too hard.
And
I hope someone's getting value from this on some level.
Yeah, I think so. It's good information. I'm just checking the chat, and there's a couple of good comments. It's like Felix had one. He's also in the group. And he's like, leverage with 1% stop loss ISO is fine though, right? If you're disciplined, it's like 1% stop loss.
Even if you're disciplined,
against you, or like what percentage? The real question is, what percentage of your capital is at risk?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, like if you have 5% of your whole net worth in, but the thing is, I'm just saying, don't even bother because it's only 5%. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, even just don't do it in the first place. Just don't even have a small amount in it at the moment if you can't do spot correctly, because it's just there. And isolated. Also, even if you were really disciplined over a longer period of time, it's not possible to get every decision right. Like, sometimes you trip over. Like, we're human beings. Like, we've got 400,000 years of evolution of how to walk, and sometimes we trip over. Like, it's not even possible to do it consistently. Like, even if you are the most disciplined motherfucker in the world with your leverage positions, you're gonna get it wrong once or twice. Again, that comes back to automation. And a very good analogy, which I'm going to steal off you, Viking, is actually, yes, use the bots as your army of traders, and then just fire or hire the bots, and just look at the bots, and they trade for you, because we know they don't have to shit, fucking fart, go for whatever. They have to go for a walk. Your bot doesn't just randomly make a mistake, because it's actually kind of scary though, because then there's AI and all this kind of stuff going into it. So it's just get out of the manual side of it. Definitely. But the issue is that people want to be in the trade. It's like being in the gamble. You spin the fucking wheel. Woo, I'm going to do it myself. And you get a reward from when you do it yourself. But I would say just 5% only looking to hedge against it. And that's what I do. 25% is DCA, 25% swing, 25% scalp, high, and then let's say risky investments. But I will die with those investments. If I invest in it, I ride and die to the end. But then take your 25% scalp trading, and out of that 25% of money you're scalp trading with, have a small amount of it which you leverage trade, only hedging against it. But that's like even after spot. Because I remember me, Will, you, Viking, and a few other people who've been in this from the very beginning. Because me and Will, I think I started trading a little bit before Will, because I was in Australia doing the Australian dollar, and that's how I found out about crypto. But then me and Will connected after school, basically, when we kind of were in the crypto fucking jerk circle. And then my point is that all of that time, I don't even know where I was going with that, but I'm saying we've been doing it a long time, and I'm saying, fuck it, I can't remember my point, but it was it's been a long fucking journey to get to where we are today. And it's like,
Agreed.
It takes, even for us, like, it's still, I don't know what the point was. We've been going on fucking stream for a while.
No worries.
Just whatever.
Hey, can I share some alpha? Is
Yeah,
right?
bro, share that alpha, baby.
Share the alpha.
Well, we got Meta finally cracked VR. We got this on the screen. Pete's trying to get into the Israel fucking Palestine
conflict.
conflict.
Alpha, I want some of this alpha. That...
Yeah, give us the alpha, bro.
Yeah, you got my screen up?
Although I hate that word, but yeah.
We got Pete's screen right now, so let me just put your screen on
Okay.
this. Let me just get you up 1 sec. So Crypto Viking, pin to screen. Yeah, there you go. Got 2 now.
Nice. Yeah, so this is just like an example, but the key thing here is understanding if you have the mentality to trade and then setting your trade rules. So this is like some alpha that's gotten me from when I had post-it notes all over my screen of like what my rules are, what I have to do for every single trade, what I have to, make sure that I'm hitting at every single point. And then I have my trading checklist, which is I actually, no shit, printed out a list of indicators and things I was using at the time and put it underneath like a plastic sheet and like duct taped it to my desk. And I would sit there with like an erasable marker and I would go through my list of tickers and I would check stuff off. It's like, yeah, the buy signal is good. The gaining or losing of levels, at support, at volume. Oh no bar oscillation colors, or at band high or band low. So then I would be like, okay, well, 5 out of 6 things, that's like 83% for like confluence. And then I would take the trade. So the whole point of this is like a lot of people don't approach this from like a structured setting, which is you have to have a plan. You have to plan your trades and trade your plan. And the entire point is like have a simple, consistent, and profitable strategy. Like that is it. That has to be, again, repeatable. That's the number one thing. What is more important? You need to ask yourself this question: winning every trade or being profitable? Most traders lose over half the trades. A trader can lose most of the trades and still be profitable. And then the mentality question: if you keep getting wrecked, because if you enter a position and you're instantaneously, your heart rate goes up slightly, you're overexposed. And if that happens even at super
even
low
if you have
exposure,
any emotional attachment to winning or losing, you've got a problem. You have to look at every trade and just look, okay, that was a winner, that was a loser. I know my strategy works. It doesn't matter. Like it's like it's like if you have a business and you have a really bad day, you don't get any sales. You own a bakery, but one day no one comes into your shop. You're not like, if you get freaked out because of that, you probably got a problem. You just look at it and go, oh, today was a bad day. Tomorrow they'll come again.
Exactly. And then your rules. What conditions make you take a trade? Like write them out so you actually know what they are, so then you can like internalize them as like the things that are a requirement for you to take a position. And then like the checklist, the things that you like, whether you like RSI or Bollinger Bands or basic stuff, or you've got like all these things in the Algo Master, use that, and then all the different conditions you can set in there. And literally you're just checking boxes as you go down, open up your watch list, go down to like the high caps or whatever you like to trade. Just click on one, look at it, look at the Algo Master. What's it telling you? Oh, it's not giving me good signals. Okay, I'll move to the next one and the next one. And then what you do? Take the little horizontal bar and you go, tell me if this happens. You right click on it and say add alert, create. That's it.
We're gonna the new bot system we got coming, guys, end of this month. This is what you need. We're gonna have it so you got all the bot settings, you can pick and choose them. Just get on a call with us. I pinned the chat link. We've got like 50 to 60 calls booked this week because everyone's wrecked, so they're looking for some help. Just book a call with us. I'm on the calls. I've gotten like 5 calls today, and we'll just help you get the right thing in front of you, which you can do, you can execute. Even Zeus has got an insane strategy on PAX G. You just have him tell you how it works. And the thing is like, it's not like there's any issue with you knowing the strategy. This is gold. This is like trillions of fucking dollars of market capitalization. Like, we're not just a fly on the back of a horse. We're a piece of sand on planet Earth. You're like one speck of sand on planet Earth. I made that analogy earlier. I was like, trying to pick a stock in the Russell 5000 that's going to make you money is like picking a needle in a haystack. But trying to pick an altcoin that's going to make you money is like picking a grain of sand on planet fucking Earth. You got 3 million, 5 million coins. And guess what? You can make money in alts for 4, 5, 6, 10 years and then lose it all in a day or 3 minutes. That's fucking crazy, this shit, man. That's crazy what happened, actually. I just feel sorry for those bros.
Alpha for people. It's like people do the work, do journal, write your rules, analyze yourself, look yourself in the mirror, ask yourself about your mentality. If you're consistently losing trades because you could actually have an emotional reaction to it, look into automation. You should be
Yeah, just
looking
do it
at
anyway. Yeah, just
regardless.
automation all the way. Like I said this for the last 5 years, I've been getting more. I started so organically into automation. I was the typical guy. I was like, no, I can't rely on these automated things. I need to do it myself. And it's like, no, it's just not a thing. It's like you don't need it anymore. You need to automate. Like I think Bitcoin was 70% automation at one point anyway. It's probably going to go up, and the sophisticated tools are getting better. Our new bot system is going to blow the fucking market out of the water with how easy it is to use. The main difficulty right now is it's difficult to do. You have to have experience already. It's not plug and play in any realm, and it's hard. We're going to try and get there, but I would still also say get a bit of mentorship, because it's like the thing is, mentorship is something which costs money, guys. Like, it's not free because you're taking away from someone's time. So if you get Daggle to be your mentor, you do have to pay him some money. But a lot of you fuckers went to university. Like, how much money do you spend on that? And you didn't have a job. So, like, spend a bit of money to play. like it's crazy. Like, for some reason, I think the analogy goes the same way. It's like, because there's no barrier to entry to trading, objectively, people don't think it's hard, because it's like when you can't become a doctor. You have to spend money, and you have to have an accredited certification to be a doctor. And you're like, okay, well, that must mean it's really difficult to be a doctor. And it is. It probably is very hard to be a doctor. But with trading, there's no barrier. So you're like, oh, no, it must be easy. Fuck it. I'm just going to make money. And I'm just going to trade to do this. It's like, no, dude. It's actually probably harder. Obviously in a different sense. Because it's like managing yourself, managing a business. You have no one. It's like playing tennis against yourself. And the only way you get past winning is by having a fucking perfect stalemate at the end. It's so difficult to do. You need to just have someone to help you in any industry. I don't think there's many examples actually of, like, there's a great book, we all know it, the Market Wizards book, and just read that and just be like, okay, a lot of these dudes, like the Turtles, Peter Thiel, some big players in trading, the big names you know, they all made all the same mistakes. And it was when they had a good mentor, or they had a good person in front of them, or they had a family member. Even in like real estate businesses, like look at Trump. Like, he just inherited his knowledge from his father. Like, that's a mentorship process. It's like you need mentorship, like, and you need to have automation.
Yeah, a lot of people also, for some reason, they look down at that. I mean, I had mentors when it comes to trading. I was absolutely off my head, had no idea what I was doing, and then had, luckily, a friend who was an ex-JP Morgan guy who set me straight. Like, it's
easy to get. It's easy to get it as well. Like, I think Will watches a guy called Mule Skinner, and I think I would kind of say that was his mentor in a way, because he used to, like, just watch him and listen to him and get all of his trades, and like
swing and price action structure. I mean, the more advanced you go into it, the more profitable you can be. You know, I look at it as you learn price action, you'll be able to make money if you actually understand price action. You have indicators to support your hypothesis and your trading, great. And then as you move on, liquidity dynamics, all that.
Well, this is the liquidity heat map. Look, this is one of our indicators on TradingView. We have another one coming as well, which has got different data. But this one, you can see all of the books are just dead below us. It's probably going to go up. Like, we're probably going to go sweep all that liquidity above us. I think we have one little push down now, and then we go up to around 125 again. Wipe all that out and maybe continue.
Yeah. But the way I would say is, like, what's the most effective ways, like, to become trading is, like, you can become profitable, very profitable, understanding price action, and then obviously volume. Then the next step is really liquidity dynamics and analysis. You can understand order books and depth and, like, slippage, those little basic things, and then order flow. And then once you learn order flow, it's basically like a cheat sheet, and you can do everything. But even on the surface level of, like, doing this type of automation, like understanding the fact that we went to a liquidation dead zone and then reverse. I mean, we've swept all of the longs except for the 5Xs.
This guy in the chat said, when I traded Bitcoin, I would leverage short the whole balance every night and weekend when I was away from the charts. You end up with more money and more BTC, so basically par. Dude, hopefully I'm not. No, dude, no. Yeah. No.
Stu had a good comment. I approach every trade assuming I will be wrong. That's exactly
well, yeah, of course. Well,
love it.
Well, you should do this. Just go into every trade, and then the money that you put into that trade, you think of it as though it's already lost because it's in the market, so you don't know. You might lose it. So just think of it as though it's already lost, and that's then you won't go and say, okay, here's my paycheck. I'm gonna go trade it. because you would never put your paycheck into something which you think you're going to lose. But if you, I promise you, when you think it's going to lose, I've lost the money already, that's when you start making money. Especially when it's high velocity, lower time frames. On higher time frames, it can be a bit dicey because it can go down for a long time and then you can be underwater for ages and it can come back. Most trades I've been really successful when I've gone underwater first anyway. Even Bitcoin, you know. I remember I got into $600 Bitcoin, then I bought it at like 3.2, and then it dropped to 1.8. I was like, oh shit, I went underwater. And then it held the last level. And that, to be honest, most of that was just through instinctual. And then I just put loads in at $1,800, and it went to 20K. And I was like, okay, now I'm become a Bitcoin trader. Apparently there was 5, yeah. All right, we've done 2 hours. That was a good stream. Anything you want to add to the end, Pete?
Just sorry if you got wrecked, but try not to use.
What about the Israel thing? You were interested in talking about Israel?
Yeah, well, it's a big day, I think. Like from newswires around the world, like we've just had the release of all the hostages, the official end of the war. But hopefully the ceasefire lasts and stuff. But yeah,
I like the hostages. The hostages getting
there's 20
released is a good sign, isn't it? That's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's like actually something happening, which means that, is it Hamas specifically who are doing it? Yeah, they're releasing hostages. Is that correct?
Yeah, they've released their hostages, and also Israel have released like, I don't know, 100 or 200 people. So yeah, that's, it's a bit of good news, isn't it, at the minute?
Yeah, it's good. And then we just need to get rid of the Putin
Peace
stuff.
is the fucking prize, man. Like, I'm all for it. I'm still terrified of the Ukraine shit. Because
Yeah,
unless they
hopefully
fix
the
their
Ukraine
shit by,
ones get settled
unless they fix
soon.
their shit by next year, I think somebody does something really stupid. And some event happens, and all of a sudden it's everyone's screaming World War III and like
World
that
War
is not it.
5. I think Alex Jones had World War 4 has already started. Alex Jones with the World War 4 stuff. I play that video.
Isn't he being like sued to the ground, and they're actually going to come in and take away his like studio where he films at his desk? Like they're literally coming in.
They've been. I don't. Yeah, that's like the threat of it. But the craziest thing about Alex Jones still is like him going on TV 3 or 4 months before 9/11 in the U.S. and basically saying exactly what would happen. They're going to fly planes from the World
I
Trade
remember
Center.
that.
Oh, dude, look it up. It's freaky as shit.
What? Play that
That's
video,
real
Pete. The Meta finally cracked VR. What's going on? I've got it on the screen.
yeah. Wait.
Is it a joke one? Is it going to be some
No,
banter?
this is good. You're gonna like this one.
Here we go. Sucker bird.
That's nice. When they see me, I know they talking like that's nice.
That's the most degenerate shit I've ever
Mate,
seen.
this is like the port yourself into the wank station jerk circle.
Oh no.
That's nice.
Shame.
I was the best.
Mate, the marketing is lit.
I was too fresh. That's nice.
Where do I get one, boys?
Yeah, I'm up.
I'm up for it.
Dude,
Easy cleanup.
Fucking hell, it just keeps going.
Metaverse.
Yeah, the data.
When I'm looking at all these options, like that's nice. When they see me, I know they talking like that's nice.
Take one wherever you go.
That's nice. So I'm at,
That's Christmas sorted, bud.
Zuckerberg.
Get one for all the family.
Man, I need a Zuckerberg.
Oh, that is hilarious, but at the same time, it's like
It's actually gonna happen as well.
Shit.
It's gonna
Oh
happen.
fuck yeah, dude! You know how many like retards are gonna go like people who actually there's actually people who still watch porn, which is funny to me. But then they're gonna get like say put me in the pod, I'll eat the bugs. Just give me the VR headset and like the Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it's the wank jerk circle stuff. It's gonna go big. I think there's actually already a thing. I think there's actually like a device you can strap to yourself and like go on live shit, and it like I don't know, it feels like they're doing it.
I don't have the bandwidth for it anymore. I just don't.
It's dark.
Oh.
Anyway, I think we'll leave it on that. A nice little positive ending with the jerk circle Zuckerberg stuff. And we'll see you on the next one, legends. Hit the like button if you're chilling. Pretty decent. We're gonna do these every single Monday. So every Monday we're doing a stream, and I'll just get different people in. Me and Pete will be the main hosts, and then we'll get Viking in. We'll get other people in, and just I think it works quite well. This little setup, like
Yeah, it's nice.
It's chilled. And then yeah, we'll just any questions as well. Every single Monday, guys, we'll see you at this time. 7:30 Dubai time will kind of kick it off, but me and Pete are a bit whooped, so we might end up doing it at 45, maybe 8. Pete likes to, like, you know, do his hair and his makeup and his nails and get his beard looking good. Look how good he looks right now. Like, it's good.
Yeah, get on my Zuckerberg.
Yeah, quickly jump the Zuckerberg on and get on stream.
It's a quick session, relieve the tension.
Oh. All right, boys and girls. And book a call. Book a call with me and the team. You know, Viking, you should join the calls. I've been joining them just to be there, to have a chat. It's all good. We had a good load of people on today. And join MDX Algo. It's lit. I'll see you on the flippies, guys. Have a good one.